Hey guys, I'll be on and off. Hold on, let me turn my damn icon on. So look, I'll be on and off the mic until the market's open. In the meantime, I'm just going to have these charts cycling through. It's got your price targets above and below. We'll see what happens as we go below. I got Bitcoin charts cycling through in the left two windows, Ethereum, and ADA below, and we have my chart with the ring where I expect us to bottom. We're going to cover some of the calls I made, guys. If you've been following me, I told you to pay attention to support level. We pushed up from it. We got a nice bounce. This also played out on the B1 chart. And then I said pay attention to this orange trend line. We hit it to the tick and pushed up. The next target I have is this red ring. I told you 3 traps are going to play out. Well, first I called the top at 65,000. People gave me crap for it. So far, that's been the top. I said that we were going to come down. People expected to hit the 21-week moving average. We never did. We pushed back up. People started getting bullish. So the second trap was a short squeeze. That played out. We dropped. The very third and final trap, I said we were going to break the 21-week. Most people thought we'd push up from there, and we broke it. So now I'm telling you where the bottom is. It's this damn red ring on this chart, top right. We're going to cover all of this. Thank you, Pradeep. I appreciate that. Don't know what SGD is, but it's the thought that counts. What's happening? Well, we're going to find out. In the meantime, I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and then I'm going to hop back on the mic, just giving you kind of a recap of what's going on. And guys, if you can do me a favor, let me know in the chat right now, how have these charts been working out for you? I mean, if you have access to our Discord, if you follow me on Twitter, if you have access to all these charts, have they been working for you? Are they difficult to play? I'd love your feedback. And feedback for others in here so they know. Zach Armstrong says perfect. If that's what you're saying, perfect too. Thank you. Beautiful. That's good words here. Perfect and beautiful. So the charts are playing out perfectly. They're playing out beautifully. Good morning. Charts are right on. Ali Knub. Charts are great in my opinion. Thank you. I don't want to call you manure. Manure, I'm going to stay away from that. Can you please analyze silver? Yeah, we'll load up silver. Zach Armstrong says yes. Robert says couldn't be better. I'm going to prove you wrong. The next charts coming out are going to be much better. Sneaker Market says you're. All right, well, I don't know what that means. Love the charts. They're working for me. John Papa, thank you. Andreas Bujinger says great. Sneaker Market, you're smashing it, bro. Thank you, man. Chuck White Wiggly, you were the best. Aw, shucks. Now I'm blushing. Good morning, Suresh. So I do hope a lot of you were either shorting or got out at the top and took some profit. I mean, there was no guarantee this would happen. It just seemed likely this would happen, and this is how it played out. Yeah, and again, I got a lot of free time on my hands now. I do have some small little projects, things to do, but I think probably one day this week, I'm just going to crank the music up and get in my charting zone and just chart. And I need to update some of these. Most of my charts are all updated. Some of them, like the XRP chart, we'll go over some of these. Some need to be updated. New fib channels added. I think BCH or some of these are so far above the current fib channel. So we'll go through and fix those up, and then I'll create the new charts that you guys are wanting with a tweet on Twitter, as opposed to a tweet on Facebook. Using them to swing buy low, sell high. Would love to see your XRP charts. Yeah, I do have 3 XRP charts. They are on point, but they do need to be updated. Just like Flotation said, BCH needs to be updated. ETH chart has been playing between, so that's why I have Ethereum up. We're going to go through and dissect and look at these charts. Ethereum and ADA, a lot of charts are on point, but ADA has been doing very well. And we're going to cover these charts. If you notice this chart here, this is the B1 chart. Check it out. We came down. Let me turn this cycle off. We came down, a perfect support. Look at that. Pushed back up, perfect resistance. We did find support. We broke below it. We pushed up. We found support. We got rejected here, guys. I update these charts, so As price moves along, I update the charts so you know where to pay attention to. So we got rejected here, and then you knew you'd possibly get rejected at this trend line because price has been respecting this. So again, I update the charts as price moves along and keep you updated on Discord and Twitter. So I'm going to refresh my coffee. I think it's getting a little cold right now. Guys, listen, if you do want to access these charts for the price of, I don't know, 6 or 7 cups of coffee at McDonald's, you can get access to the altcoin, Bitcoins, precious metals, my Discord, and my Twitter, which is private. Let me give you that link if you want to just sign up directly, and you can access all of these charts and more right now. As soon as you click pay, you instantly have access, but you will have to email me to get access to the Discord invite, and I'll send you a Discord invite link and allow you to follow me on Twitter. This here is the subscribe link, guys, right here. So if you want to subscribe, just click this link. The subscription options are there. Remember, stocks and tutorials are separate. If you do want lifetime, the only way I'm allowing people to pay with crypto is if you pay in full. It's $2.99 for full lifetime access. You get access to everything: stocks, tutorials, bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Twitter, Discord. You never have to pay again. And you can pay crypto that way, but if you want to pay, PayPal or credit card, you have to go monthly. And the cat says hello. Thank you, Robert. I've learned a lot and stopped losing money, so thank you. Yeah, and guys, what I try to say is, look, there's no guarantee support and resistance levels will hold, but those that have access to these charts, they do know how accurate they are. So while, yes, sometimes it's a gamble, price will push up and hit resistance, it might break that resistance, but I'd say at least 7 times out of 10, which is if you're more profitable than losing money, you're doing pretty good. But majority of the time, when you hit resistance, you short. It'll come down. You hit support, you long. You're not going to win them all, but the majority of them you will win because we know these are strong support and resistance levels. Yeah, Godiva said, hey, back. So listen, if you are OG, if you're my original gangsters, if you've been grandfathered in, if you're the ones that originally made a donation of like $5, $10, some of you made a donation of 16 cents. If you are OG and you want to get access to tutorials and stocks, only for those I am offering full access lifetime for $75. So if you want to take advantage of that, shoot me an email through the contact page of the website. But that's only for OGs. If you're new, it's $2.99. Yeah, a lot have said that it has paid for itself, and that makes me feel good hearing that. And again, we'll go through some of my calls. I'm going to show you where we're headed. I'm running and rambling on here, and I'm not even ready to really get talking. But we'll cover a lot of charts and tell you where I think we're going. And your current support and resistance levels are shown right now, okay? So just look at the chart. And if anybody asks, hey, is this a live stream? Is Steve talking? Just tell them, hey, I'm going to be on and off the mic until the market's open. And the market's open in, well, shit, let me do I'll give a little countdown clock here for when the market's open. Let's see, web, countdown timer. Where's a good one here? Here we go. Tick counter. Today is May 17th. $2021. Nice. All right. Eastern Standard Time. And 9:30. All right, guys, I'm setting up a little timer here. All right, so if anybody asks what this timer is, don't tell them that it's when the market opens. Tell them it's when my eggs are done. Tell them I'm boiling some eggs, and when they get done, that's when this timer goes off. But for you guys who are here now, this timer is for when the market's open. So, and as I told you before, if you look at the Dow Jones in the bottom right here, we topped out at this fib channel line right here. And when the market closed, notice we came down, we found a perfect support of this blue ring. When the market's closed on Friday, we closed right underneath this orange ring. I expect this orange ring to be very strong resistance, which means further downside for the Dow. If we have a significant drop in the Dow, more than likely we're going to have a bigger drop for other markets as well. They typically move together. And you can see the Dow is currently down 166 points, and Bitcoin is just bleeding down. Alright guys, I will be back in a bit. Just make sure you tell everybody that this timer is for the New York Stock Exchange Open. Once this timer goes off, I'll get on the mic and we'll start covering some charts. But your price targets are here. I'll be on and off, guys. Yes, I did predict the crash. I predicted it about a month in advance. I said it was going to be late February. Well, I was predicting the Dow Jones would crash, and then I had a chart that said it looked like Bitcoin was going to crash. And damned if both didn't crash at the same time, and we hit that bottom target of 3,900. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. Look, there's a lot of things going on, printing money and all this stuff. If you're OG and you want full lifetime access to stocks and tutorials as well, make sure you contact me through the contact page. For $75, I'll hook you up. Alright guys, I'll be back. Oh, and this is very, very important. If you do want to know where I am buying, right here, let me do a little arrow. Right here. See this arrow in the top right screen? At any point when we make, let me find it. I hate that arrow. Hold on, let me find the arrow I like. Where's my good arrow? That's my arrow. At any point when we make contact with this red ring right here, this red ring is where I'm buying. I think this is probably the last trap. People think we're going to continue down lower. I know that when we hit this red ring, we are going to get one hell of a bounce. I said when we hit this point, we get a bounce. I said when we hit this point, we get a bounce. We did. When we hit this point, we're going to get one hell of a bounce. I am going in 100% of this red ring. That chart is called the E1 chart. If you want to get access to this chart and know exactly where I'm buying, you will have to subscribe. I'm not giving that away. Even if I did give you the price, it wouldn't be accurate because it's a ring. It depends on when you make contact. I'll explain this later. But just remember, guys, this red ring is where I'm buying. Whenever we make contact, I'm going in 100% for one hell of a bounce. I do think that will be a temporary bottom. All right. I just used the Keurig to make another cup of coffee, and I forgot to change out the pod and use the same pod. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I'll put up charts individually. I'm just leaving these charts up right now so you can watch them play out. You have your price targets, your smaller targets, too long and short. But we'll cover the bigger targets. But I am not giving you my buy-in, guys. If you want to know, I put a lot of work into that top right chart with that big white arrow. If you want to know where to buy, where I'm buying, if you want to know exactly, I call the top at 65,000. I'm telling you, that red ring with that big white arrow, that will be a temporary bottom to get one hell of a bounce. I'll show you why, I'll break it down, but I'll give you price targets, but that is my target. I'm not giving that out to the public. Only people that have that are people that are subscribed. Yeah, I got to get that fresh coffee. That was very unpleasant. And guys, gals, a little advice. If any of you have cats, never ever go out and buy some kind of snack or treat called greenies, because once you do, they will just go friggin' nuts until you feed them. They will not shut up. This is the most addictive treat cats can eat, so never buy that for your cat. I regret it completely now. If you need Lifetime, contact me through the contact page. I'll give you that link. And I will send you instructions and directions on how to send payment. Yeah, if you're subscribed and you have access, I don't give price targets on Twitter. I just show you the chart to load up. The price labels and targets are on the actual, they're on the chart. I give out price targets in Discord because everybody there is a paying member. A lot of people on my Twitter are not paying members. My Twitter was public. Now it's private. So you have to be subscribed to access my Twitter, but a lot of people have access to my Twitter were there before I went private. So that's why I don't give out too much information. But I do tell you, hey, this is support, A1 chart. This is resistance, D1 chart. So I tell you what chart to pay attention to. Strong resistance come down, and they played out perfectly, guys. You've been following me on Twitter over the past couple days. We've been nailing it. But yeah. Well, no, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Twitter is the first place I go to keep you guys updated. And then I try to keep you updated in Discord as well. But Twitter is the first place I go. Trust me, I know some of you don't want to get on Twitter. I never thought I'd be on Twitter. Last time I predicted the stock market crashed and Bitcoin crashed, my channel was taken down. That's why I got on Twitter, to get my channel back up, which did work. So that's why I'm on Twitter now, but it is a good way to get information out quick. Yeah, I know. I'm a little surprised too, but the chart showed it, and it just made sense, and it played out that way. All three traps played out exactly. I'm subs to your YouTube channel, but can't access the chart. So you need to understand, user Ramed. You don't. It's not subscribed to my YouTube channel that gives you access to my charts on my Twitter. You have to be subscribed to my charts. You have to pay to get access to that. And once you get access, either you pay $39 a month to get a Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. You pay monthly. Then you get access to the chart. You have access to the charts in my Discord and Twitter. But if you're not subscribed to my charts and only just subscribe to my YouTube, you don't get access. But you do get these live streams and videos, which I do give you price targets. I think the last 4 or 5 live streams, I gave people exact points to long and short, and they played out perfectly. So I do these on occasionally to show you guys how accurate the charts are. But if you want to know exactly when to get in and when to get out, when price is making a move, then you'll have to follow me on Twitter. Alright, my coffee's done. I'll be back, guys. We have 37 minutes before markets open, and then we'll really get into this. Thank you, Mathis. I appreciate that. All right, watch your language, Django. I got no issues with you, but come on, keep it clean. All right. And Fallon, thank you for keeping people in check, man. I appreciate that. And again, I will be on the mic when I mean I'm off and on the mic, but I'll be on. We'll go do some charts when the market's open in 28 minutes. And keep in mind, if you are playing the Dow, the perfect point to have shorted was this orange ring. I do think this orange ring could be the potential top for a major drop. And keep in mind, guys, if the markets come down, all right, if the Dow comes down, the S&P comes down, the Nasdaq comes down, Bitcoin will follow suit. We had a pretty good correction here. We did push up a bit. You can see Bitcoin still dropping. I think this is the top for the Dow currently. At any point we break this yellow trend line down here, this would be the point you potentially would long from. You would chance a long. I think we'll probably bounce back and forth, but once we break this yellow trend line, I think this is when we start having a major correction with the markets. And trust me, if we have, yeah, that's my egg timer. If we break this yellow trend line, you do not want to be in Bitcoin. So it all depends on if we come back down and test this. I do think we're headed to this red ring. And again, if the markets start pushing back up, this red ring I think will be the bottom. If the markets start having a major correction, then this will probably just be a bounce, and then we could break that and go lower. But we will cover all of that. Just letting you guys know I'm still here. We got 11 minutes before markets open. All right, the Dow's down 146 points, so we're gonna see if we stay below this orange ring. Remember, markets down, Bitcoin down, and this big white arrow. This is where I think we're ultimately headed. Someone had asked a question. Yeah, again, if anybody does sign up, if you sign up monthly or if you sign up lifetime, I have to email you back. But if you do sign up, make sure you send me an email and I will send you the Discord invite link and accept your Twitter follow request. You need to make sure you do that after you sign up. I won't contact you. You need to contact me. I feel you. You know, it might be a slow bleed down. The most important thing is, and I told you this before, I said we would be topped out at the Dow. I said we'd come down. I told you that likely, I told you I got out of this blue ring. Notice this blue ring, this bottom right chart. This was a lot of resistance. A ring that's previously resistance can become support. That was a perfect point to get out. We pushed up. Where did we close? Right below this orange ring. So that's what I'm saying. In that last video, I said if we push above this orange ring and hold support, that's bullish for more upside on the stock market, which means more bullish upside for Bitcoin. But if we stay below this orange ring, this is potentially a top, which means we could have a major correction coming soon, and if that happens, Bitcoin is going to tank. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about Elon. He just likes the attention, likes to feel like he can manipulate the price, and he's only hurting Bitcoin. He's getting people wrecked daily. People hopped into Dogecoin, and I mean, it dropped, what, 45%? They probably sold on the way down. It's just terrible what he's doing. Your question was, Bitcoin is close to that ring. Does that mean it's possible if Dow comes down, we'll bounce off that support? Yes. That is exactly what I'm saying. This yellow trend line down here, I can't find my mouse. This yellow trend line, the bottom right corner here, the Dow Jones, if we break this yellow trend line at any point, and I'm going to load this, I'll show you this chart full screen, and we're going to go in this, and I'll show you why I follow the market so closely with Bitcoin, which helps me predict where it's going. But yes, if we break this yellow trend line, guys, we are due for one hell of a correction. And if the Dow is going to be dropping 2,000, 3,000 points, believe me, the other markets will be dropping as well. And I've tried to show you this before. When the markets correct, Bitcoin corrects twice as much. Yes, and if the red ring breaks, that is a possibility too. I do believe, regardless, we will find one hell of a bounce from that ring. Hey, it's Fibonacci. It works. I'll show you why that ring is so important. I do think we'll get a bounce there before it does break. If it breaks, if we catch a bounce there and we push up above the 21 weekly, it's very possible that we continue in our bull run. Of course, that does depend if the markets continue up. And we're still waiting to see what happens. If the markets continue down, yeah, it's possible we break that red ring. If we do, I do have targets below, guys. I have charts that I made 2 years ago that have been dead on accurate. So I know for a fact, just like I knew that orange ring would be the top at 65,000. While people were thinking we were going to hit 68,000, I said, nope, top is 65,000 at the ring. We hit that to the dollar and came down. And I'm telling you, just like that orange ring predicted the top, this red ring is going to predict our temporary bottom. If not, I'm saying if this is the point where we'll catch a bounce. And yes, if it breaks, there's an orange ring below. And I will tell you this, if things got really bad and the markets just completely tanked, I appreciate that, Rosario. If the markets did tank and they got really, really bad, I can tell you this, and I'll show you this is the case, but you can look it up for yourself. I do believe the worst case scenario, the lowest Bitcoin could possibly go, will be the 300 weekly moving average, which will be around probably $10,000 when it meets up. I'm not saying that has to happen, but it's good to have those targets just in case. And I will give you some price targets. Right here, I'll make this a little larger. So this is your current support for Ethereum right here. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. So your current support for Ethereum, if you want a chance of long, is right here, 3,401. be careful. This ribbon, you're getting resistance, the 200 exponential on the 2 hour. So this could be a point you can long. Again, pay attention, guys. Doesn't mean it has to hold, but this is support, 3,401. If we come down, this is ADA down below. So if ADA comes down right here, this is a point you potentially would want to long. Right here at $2.04. Let's see, and for Bitcoin, let's look at these charts here. So it looks like we're almost going to break resistance here. So your current support right now that needs to hold on this chart, this is the C1 chart. So if we break 44,129, we're coming down to a lower target. This is your next support. This is the B1 chart. This needs to hold. We found support on this repeatedly. And I made a tweet about this. I said your next support is this blue and gray line. We caught it bounce, and then you can see we caught a nice bounce at this gray one. Pushed up, perfect resistance right here. Perfect resistance, perfect support. And then, guys, that's what I do. I update these charts. Not only do you respect the fib channel lines, we get caught in patterns. So notice what happened. We found resistance, pushed above it, became support, and we pushed back up. So I update these charts and say, hey, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. But it looks like, your next support on this chart that needs to hold is right here. So pay attention. This could be a point you might want to put in a long. But keep in mind, this is very strong resistance, this yellow trend line. Let's look at this next chart. So I'm going to have these cycling through. Your next support right here on this chart, this is the A1 chart. This support needs to hold. If we drop below it, we go lower. 44,200. Let me put this back on cycling. All right, guys. I'll be on the mic in just a few. We got how much time left? I think we only got minutes here. 4 minutes. Be right back. Yeah, you don't need my Twitter handle unless you're signed up. Once you sign up and you email me, I will email back with my Twitter handle and tell you to email back with your Twitter handle so I can accept your follow request, and I'll also send you the Discord invite link. And yeah, guys, I typically don't ask for you to click the like button. Look, if you like this content, you'll like it. If you don't, you won't. And if you do want to subscribe, that's your choice. But if you do subscribe, make sure you do tick that notification bell all, because I think sometimes you don't get notified when I do live streams. But that's your choice. But it is appreciated, guys. As all the other YouTubers say, when you do click like, it actually helps the channel. It's true. Alright guys, so we're going to go through some of these charts. I'm going to give you some important price targets to pay attention to. There is one chart that has a price target that I think when we make contact with that line will probably be the time we make contact with this red ring. I am very curious to see if the Dow continues down. Notice we're finding resistance right underneath this orange ring. So I'm going to show you this chart first. If you watched my last video, the first thing I covered was the Dow Jones, and people are like, I thought this was about Bitcoin. It is. But let me show you why I think we have further downside for Bitcoin, and it does go along with the stock market. And then we'll cover some of these individual Bitcoin charts. So I'm going to leave these charts the way they are, and then we're going to cover some price targets. No kitty. You've had enough greenies. Alright, give me a sec, guys. I'm working on my other screen so I can load these charts up. Alright. Alright, let me go to stocks first. Let me get this chart ready so I take some stuff off of it. I'm going to show you this Dow Jones chart. Some of you are new here, some of you have already seen this, but it is important. I want you to understand why this is the case and why I believe that we are topped out. Need to get some stuff off of this chart because there's a lot on it. And show you potentially how much of a correction I'm expecting, which is one hell of a correction. Put this on line drawing so you can see it. Alright, so let's cover this first. This is important, alright? I know you think, who cares about the Dow Jones? I'm playing Bitcoin. So again, I just want to show you this, and this will go along with another chart, okay? Notice this orange ring. I'm going to get rid of some of these other rings because there's a lot on this chart. And I'm going to leave this blue ring because this blue ring actually will show you something. But again, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. Let me find my favorite arrow tool here. So notice right here, this is where the Dow topped out. And this is our COVID crash, by the way, right here. Notice this yellow trend line right here. As soon as we broke this yellow trend line, underneath resistance of the orange rings, if we stay underneath the orange ring, break the yellow trend line, we crash. This is where we had a COVID crash. I'm showing you how these flip circles work, how they can tell you where the tops and bottoms are. So again, this was the 8th of June 2020, topped out at the ring. Came down, found support. We pushed up. Perfect resistance. Perfect support. Perfect resistance. Perfect support. Alright, so you see how we're respecting this orange fib circle. This is where I said right here, we might have a crash with the stock market. They released a stimulus package on, let me put a vertical line here. They released it on March 11th. And you can see what happened. The talks of it, because they approved it, it pushed up. I said if we push up, we will get topped out at this orange ring. Keep in mind, we did push above this orange ring the last time about 1.5%. We did the exact same thing. We pushed up about 1.5% and came down. So here's what I'm saying. Just like happened back here. And remember, guys, Bitcoin is tied into Wall Street. Markets down, Bitcoin down. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that, guys. So if somebody later is watching this, I have been talking for the last few minutes. And by the way, if you see me moving my mouse around and doing stuff on the chart, obviously I'm talking. So this is what I'm saying. If there is no stimulus package released within the next 27 days, keep this in mind. If there's no stimulus package released in 27 days, at any point, if we break this point right here, that is when we're coming down. Hold on. The phone's blowing up. Alright, so again, if we break this point, we could have a correction with the Dow Jones of potentially 10%. Do understand this. The last time the Dow Jones corrected, It came down over 30%. Bitcoin came down 60%. So if we correct this much, if the Dow Jones drops to this point down here, this would be where you look. The reason I say this, you can see right here, we bounced. Resistance, support, bouncing between the rings, right? So if we're topped out at this ring, and I'll show you the same thing with some other charts for Bitcoin. If we're topped out at this ring right here, and we come down, the next point you're going to find support is right here on this ring, before potentially pushing up, getting rejected at this blue ring. Notice that blue ring right here, resistance, 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 flipped as support. So if we come down, your first support level will be here. If we break it, it will be resistance. But I do think we're ultimately headed to this target if we cannot get above this orange ring. And this is part of the reason I was very confident that Bitcoin would come down. So do you understand what I'm talking about with the Dow? And I know I'm using the Dow as an indicator for the markets. But again, if the Dow is going to be coming down a lot, other markets will be coming down as well. Does everybody understand that? Why I feel so confident we're going to have a correction? At least for the stock market. And then we'll cover some Bitcoin charts. And I'm happy to give you some price targets. I'm not going to give you this one, but I can tell you this. You got 27 days. Within 27 days, no stimulus package, this bitch is coming down. And I will give you this price target, guys. So right now, if we get above 34,442, maybe you start to get bullish. Keep in mind your next resistance above is going to be right here we topped out before, around 35,000-ish. Again, this is at an angle. If we come straight down and we break 33,651, it's game over. It's coming down. If it's further out here, if we do something like this, I would probably long from this point, short from this point. But at any point we break right here, 33,861, around that point, I do believe ultimately we're coming down to this point. You do not want to be in Bitcoin if that happens. All right, that's enough for the Dow Jones. Let's cover some Bitcoin charts. And I'm going to give you some price targets to pay attention to. So let's just go through each one. And keep this in mind, if I give you price targets, I'll give you price targets for the A1 chart, the B1 chart, the C1 chart, D1 chart. People say, you give me all these price targets. How do I know which one to use? Well, you have the chart up with your closest support and resistance. If that support breaks, you go to the next chart and look for your next closest support or next closest resistance. That's how you play the charts. And remember, if you have access to the charts, you can right-click on the link and open a new tab. My suggestion, always have the A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, and Peak the Bull Run 2.0 chart. We'll cover that as well. All right, let me go to Bitcoin, and then we'll cover some altcoin charts as well. All right, so A1. I'm going to give you some price targets, and if you don't have access, write these down, all right? And there is one chart that I do think when we make contact with that next support level, that is when we'll hit that ring. And the great thing is you can actually use that to predict the timing when you'll make contact, because to hit a line below and make contact with a ring that's at an angle, that means you have to hit it at a certain time. So this is the A1 chart, and I was making a tweet about this. Look, you can see this yellow line right here, also this white line. See this? We came down. This was support, 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 more support, more support, more support. You got a lot of wicks. It's hard to know where your support and resistance levels are. The chart's already mapped out to tell you where your support and resistance levels are. Even though you had a wick all the way down here, wick all the way down here, your support level was right here. And look what happened. Support flipped as resistance, and then you came down. But notice, perfect resistance right here. That was a point too short. Point too short. If you got above that, that's when you start getting bullish for further upside. It did not play out that way. We came down. So let me give you some price targets on this chart, all right? So now your current resistance to watch on the A1 chart right here. Your current resistance is right here, 4,610. If you get above that, load up the next chart or pay attention to the resistance level above. You can have very, very strong resistance at 49,336. Your current support on this chart right now is 44,296. Your next support level on this chart to watch is 41,356. And you say, well, how do you know those are strong support levels? Well, guys, you just go back and you look. Let me get rid of this Bollinger Band because it makes it look a little crazy. Hold on. So we can go back. Let me get rid of these price labels here. So let's see why this was such strong support and resistance right here. So notice we found perfect support right here. So let's bring this back. Also, we bottomed right here. The other chart will show that in more detail. But notice it's perfect resistance, perfect support. So if you follow this back, this is the trajectory that Bitcoin is following. This might take a bit because I think this is the 2 hour. So if we bring this back, you'll notice price has been respecting. Look at this. Look how long price has been respecting this one fib channel line right here. It was resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, pushed up as resistance again, flipped out support, pushed up. So that's how you know that line will be strong support and resistance. And it's the same thing. All these fib channels, they're just basically a fib retracement at an angle. And all of these are based, if you watch my tutorials, you understand why these lines are so important, but this line is the next Fibonacci number below this line. But again, if you watch my tutorials, once I set up a chart, I'm able to add fib channels within fib channels. That's how I give you these price targets to the dollar. So you know your next support level to watch down below is right here. And let's follow this back. Let's just see. Let me get rid of this MACD and RSI. Let's see what happens if we pull this back. And let's zoom in. So you can see even this one was respected. This yellow line. Support, support, more support, more support and resistance. A lot of support pushed up. So you know if you come down, if you wanted to chance a quick long, that's where you would do it, right here. Just like we came down and we found support right here. Look at that. Look how accurate this is. Support, resistance. Now you could have longed here. It would have been, you could have longed just a bit, but it did break it. We came down, support, resistance. We did break below it. We came back up. We're caught in a pattern right now. But you know that if we come down, you will find support. So if you want to chance a long right here, if we break this support at 44,000, you know that you can chance a quick long at 41,200. So again, these are your price targets on this chart, guys. I don't want to go too long on this, but I'm just trying to explain how to play the charts. Remember, you chance, if you're at resistance, you chance a short. If it goes above it, you get out of your short. If you're at support, you chance a long. If it breaks it, you long the next support level. That is how you play the charts. These are your current support levels on the A1 chart. All right, let's see. So the next one, let's look at the B1 chart. All right, I can't give you this lower price target because I think that's where we're ultimately headed, and that is where we are going to make contact with that red ring. So hold on a sec. I gotta figure out how I can get this on the screen without giving that. I will give you your current price targets above. But I do, guys, if you have access to these charts and we start dropping, Django, all you guys have access to the charts. Make sure if we start dropping, you have the E1 chart up with the red ring and this B1 chart. Because the B1 chart, the next support level below, is probably when we're going to make contact with that red ring. So let me get this up. Hold on. I gotta be careful how I put this on the screen. All right. Oh, come on. Work with me here. All right. So, and you can see how accurate this chart has been as well, right? Look, we found perfect support right here. I covered this before. I said, look, this blue line has been a lot of support and resistance. I have a blue line here outlining this. And look what happened. So we came down, we wicked all the way down to this blue line. We pushed back up, this became support, this white line. Look, support, support, resistance, support, resistance. Then we got caught. This is what I'm talking about. Update the charts. Resistance came down, perfect support. This previous support will be support again. We pushed up, we broke above. Look at this, perfect resistance, guys. You come up on resistance, you short. You come down to support, you long. This would have been a bad long, but if you longed from right here, you did pretty damn good. You pushed up a total of almost 6%. That's pretty good if you're using leverage. Just buying spot, that's pretty good. But we pushed up and we found resistance. We came down. So guys, I'm going to give you the support levels, but this right here, this point right here, I do believe this, when we make contact right here, this will be when we make contact with that red ring. So again, if you have access to the charts, have the B1 chart open. This is the next major support based off of these fib channel lines. So if we break, let me show you this current support level. Right here, this is a very important support level to hold, 44,297. Other charts will give you support levels below, but when we hit this point, this is where I'm going all in, because this will be when we make contact with that red ring. So DT, how did you do with your leverage? So your current resistance above on this chart, guys, do keep in mind these are at an angle. You know, this support here is 44,297. Out here is 44,826. So if I give you price targets today, they might be different tomorrow or the following day. But your current support right now on this chart, 44,325. Your resistance above, that's been tested repeatedly. You can see right here. Let me get rid of these squigglies. So as I said right here, you got support, it became resistance, or still support I mean, then it became resistance, right? So if you push up, you know for a fact that you could potentially short 46,776. If you push above that, your next strongest resistance is going to be right up here around 48,724. Yeah, Timo, I'm not giving that out to the public, all right? I've showed you how accurate these charts are. I called the top. I'm going to show you how I called the top at 65,000 when people thought we were going to 68,000. Again, I'm not giving that away for free. If you want that price target, you've got to pay to get access to the charts. It's not fair to the people that already are paying for me to give this away. And I will show you that chart and why I believe that we're coming down to that point and why that will be such strong support. Right now, I'm just giving you support levels to long and short. Did you just say F me? All right, do you want to be hid from the channel? All right, bye, Maiko Duro. Good riddance. People get mad when they don't get stuff for free, apparently. I mean, I get it, you know, people want stuff for free, so when they don't, they get upset. But do keep in mind your current resistance right now is this yellow trend line, and this is right around 45,600-ish. We get above that, you know, get bullish for a little more upside. But these are your support levels, and I'm gonna give this one more time, all right? So your current support needs to hold 44,345. Your resistance is this yellow trend line around 45,600. Your next resistance above 46,800, and if you get above that, you will have very strong resistance at 48,724. So do write these down, and it's probably difficult having all these. So write down a piece of paper, A1, support and resistance levels, and then write down B1, support and resistance levels. But do know that if you have access to the charts, I do think this line right here, this will be the point that we get a nice bounce, and that does go with the red ring. All right, so you got these. Let's go on to the next chart, guys. So C1 has been pretty damn accurate as well. And again, the ones that have labels are the ones that I'm playing. Uh-oh, I just deleted the fib channel. Gotta be careful with that. and I have a yellow line representing same thing. If we drop, that is on par with that red ring. And I'm telling you, it is crazy how you can actually predict the timing when you make contact. just because a ring is at, it's a curve, so if you hit a line below at a different angle, you have to hit both at the same time. At a certain time, at a certain price. And I'll keep you updated in Twitter and Discord about the timing for that. All right. Look at the Dow. Again, you see what I'm saying here. Look at the Dow. This is where you short. I'm telling you, this orange ring is potentially a top for the Dow Jones. And your support is now going to be down here around potentially 33,700. It's amazing when you set these fib circles how you can actually project years in advance where tops and bottoms are. I'm looking forward to showing you the E1 chart. That's the most important chart. That has the bottom. All right, let me get this on the screen. Hold on. Bear with me here. All right, so this is the E1 chart. And again, like I said, I have this marked off right here because I believe when we make contact with this yellow line right here, this will potentially be when we make contact with that ring. I'm going to give you support levels to pay attention to and resistance levels. You've got very strong resistance. This is the C1 chart right here. All the charts are labeled on the website just like this. You see C1. So you can see this red line right here. It goes back a good ways. This has been a lot of resistance, a lot of support, and now it's going to be resistance. So if we push up, a likely point to short according to the C1 chart, right here. If we push straight up, 47,260, remember if multiple charts have the same price target, even more confluence means it's very likely will get rejected. Yeah, I'll load up the VIX chart. I haven't loaded that up in a while. But guys, pay attention. Your strongest resistance on the C1 chart right now, 47,200. You push above that, your strongest resistance on this chart, 50,500. All right, this isn't an angle. Depends when you make contact. Your current support that's holding right now is 44,868. If that breaks, your next support level to watch is around 42,100. I'm not giving you the next price targets below, but I will tell you this is a very important this is a very important support level down here. Wherever you make contact, this is a point where you potentially want to buy in, and I do have these labeled. So, and I'll show you that chart because I think that will play in with the red ring. But again, these on the C1 chart, those support resistance levels. Within the next 24 hours, I don't think so. Possibly this week. All right, that's the C1 chart. So let me show you the E1 chart, right? I want to show you this, and I want to show you why this is such an important ring. This is the chart you need to pay attention to. Stop whatever you're doing. If you're listening to music or goofing off, pay attention to this chart. I want you to understand why I'm so confident this red ring will be our support level. And if you have access to the charts, the E1 chart is under BTC related. I need to get rid of my alerts here. I have an alert just above that ring because I'm ready to buy when it hits. Tell you what. All right, I'm bringing the chart on the screen. I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna show you in detail. I'm gonna show you why this will potentially be the bottom, or at least temporarily the bottom. Doesn't mean it has to be the bottom. And maybe you guys are smart enough to look at the chart and figure it out for yourself. But all I can tell you is this is at an angle. And again, just like this up here. Okay, so let me make this bigger so you can see this, or make this brighter. Let me explain to you why these fib circles can help you find tops. Just like I showed you with the Dow Jones. You saw what I showed with the Dow Jones. Right here, this was our top. Look, we were in this pattern. This was our resistance. This was our support, resistance, support. We got rejected right here. We pushed up. Most people thought we would push up to this point. This would be around 67,000. Well, around 67,000. I told people, I said, we would not get above this point right here. 65,000, what, 100? I mean, let me zoom in on this. Look at this. That hit to the dollar, guys. Look at that. I was telling you, as soon as we hit this orange ring, that would be the top. Actually, that was around $65,000. We have come down ever since. So that found the top. Now I'm going to show you where the bottom is. And you say, well, how do you know? Well, keep in mind, that orange ring that nailed the top is the next orange ring up from this one right here. So some people ask, well, what happens if we break below this ring right here? Well, your first support is right here. Your next support is right here. And I have support levels below as well. That's if things get very bearish. But again, I'm buying in 100% right here. I got out right here. I'm getting in right here. Now, I've been swing trading this on the way down, but I'm saying when we get to this point, I expect one hell of a bounce. So I'm not missing that. But you say, why is that ring so important? Tell us about this ring. All right, let me give you the Bollinger Band. So I'm going to go back and show you this ring. I've showed you this before. Some of you are new. Yeah, some of you follow me and you watch my videos, and you probably have seen this, but some people are new and haven't seen it. So I'm trying to explain it. So if you want to, take a break and walk away, you're welcome to. All right, so again, I just want to show you this ring. Support, 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 support. Again, pay attention to this ring. Support, flipped as resistance, 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 flipped as support, flipped as support, support. We broke it. We came down here. We bottomed. We pushed back up, guys. Look at this. And I'll show you the published version of this chart. This has been here I created this back on, I think I created this in 2019. Resistance, 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 resistance. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Came down, test the 21 week, right? And what happened? We came up and we tested it again as resistance. It flipped as support, support, support. We pushed up. So guys, if we come down, where do you think we're going to find support? Right here. It's in the chart. I mean, how can price be respecting a ring that well over so many years and not be the support level? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I did tell you that the top was 65,000. I said that what was going to happen. I said it was 3 traps. If you go back and watch my previous videos. I said there were 3 traps playing out. The first trap, people expected down here. They expected us to continue down and hit the 21-week moving average. That didn't happen. It pushed up. I said people were getting bullish. The second trap was price was going to push up. People were longing, get bullish, things was going to go higher. Then I said it was going to come down. That played out. The third trap, I said people were expecting us to catch a bounce on the 21 and push up. That did not happen. I said we were going to break it and come down. That played out. All 3 traps played out exactly. And even I made a tweet. I said, guys, if you want to buy right here, right at this line. And we pushed up a total of, well, we're currently up almost 7%. I think it pushed up a little higher. But you had a 7% bounce right off of this fib channel line right here. Or actually, this is just a trend line. But again, I just want to understand why that ring is so important and why I'll be buying at this point. All right, guys, stop with the, that's not very nice talking that way, all right? If I see that word one more time, I'm going to have to put you in timeout or ban you, all right? Now, you don't have to pay. I mean, if we come down and we get close to that ring, I'll probably be doing a live stream. If you have access to the charts, these charts play out live 24/7. You just click the link, load up the chart, and you always know how close we are to the point. And again, it doesn't, if we're out here, price is going to be different than if we make contact right here. I just know, just like here. Remember I told you before, I said if we pushed up from this point, and if you remember, I said if we pushed up from here, your target was 59,719. I said it's when you make contact with this orange ring is the top. We happen to make contact right here. That's why that was the top. That's when we make contact with the orange ring. So if I give you a price target on this ring, it doesn't really matter. It's when you make contact is when you get that bounce. I put a lot of time in these charts, guys. If you watch my tutorials and you go back and watch my videos, you'll understand why these charts are so accurate. You know that if we hit that red ring, it could be a dead cat bounce, but I'm buying because I like to swing trade. That's what I do. I know where the points are to buy and where they are to sell. They don't always play out, but the majority do. So THC, TLO, you have my tutorials, I assume. Well, I can tell you this. If Bitcoin's dropping, altcoins are dropping too. I mean, Ethereum dropped a lot. I can tell you when Bitcoin finally bottoms and starts pushing up, you know, that's probably the point you want to. If Bitcoin's dropping and finds support, and Ethereum happens to be at support, you probably want to buy Ethereum. And yes, I have a crap load of altcoins. Some of the charts I need to update. I mean, Ethereum's still on point. XRP probably needs to be updated, but it's still on point as well. ADA, Chainlink, BNB has been absolutely amazing. The targets on that have just been incredible. I'll show you that as well. But guys, I just want to make it very clear, make you aware that again, I'm buying at this red ring. I do expect to get a nice bounce. It doesn't mean it has to hold, but keep in mind this 21-week moving average, wherever it may be, and this is what I was telling you. It's very possible we'll come down. We'll test this red ring. If we push up, that's the bounce I'm talking about. If we get a bounce from this red ring, guys, this is one hell of a bounce. This is about 30%. That's what I'm talking about. Do not miss this. If we hit this point and push up, most people are going to be playing this up to the 21-week moving average. If you have one Bitcoin, 30%, or if you're using leverage, I mean, can you imagine the gains you'd make on that? That's what I'm saying. We're going to potentially come down, test this red ring, push up, test the 21-week. If we get rejected, guys, I hate to say it, but if we get rejected here, we are now in a bear market, which means we're coming down much lower. If we push back up and we hold support, we're still in a bull run, which means we can go higher. But I expect us to catch a bounce at this red ring. We're already below the 21-week. People are saying, well, how low will this go? I'm telling you, right here is where we're going to catch that bounce. What's that bounce level? $35. Actually, $39. That's the price for that level. But again, wherever we make contact, I do think we will push up, and then that's the question. Do we get rejected at the 21-week, or do we push above it? If we're below the 21-week as resistance, we have entered a bear market. If we push above and hold support, then we are in a bull run. But I'm not missing that bounce, guys. I've been talking about this red ring, and I'm ready for it. We're on our way down to it. I think it'll be little steps down, but again, if you do have access to the charts, it's the E1 chart. And you know, some people can guess what the price is, but you won't know because it's at an angle. It's when you make contact depends on the price. Just like I showed you here, depending on when you make contact with this orange ring depends on the price. Just like the Dow Jones, depending on when you make contact depends on the price. I think when we hit that red ring, I don't think it's going to ride up it. I think we're going to get one hell of a pump from that red ring. Guys, again, I showed you how accurate this ring is. I mean, look at that. Price has been respecting this red ring going way back. And actually, it was the top. Look at this. This was the top back here. We've been respecting this back since 2017. So, anyways, just want to explain to you that is what I'm watching. And let's check out Ethereum, guys. Let's look at the Ethereum chart. Let me show how accurate this damn chart's been. I mean, you can see how accurate this chart has been. And this is what I'm talking about. It's hard to know where your support and resistance levels are. It's almost impossible to know because there's so much volatility, so much manipulation, liquidating longs and shorts. I mean, look at this. Up and down, up and down, up and down. But I know that this is our support and resistance level right here. And you can clearly see that when price starts settling down, you get all this volatility and it subsides. Look what happens. This is pretty much your resistance right here. it flips as support. We push up, next line becomes support. Next line is resistance, more support. This was a liquidation wick. But look what happened, still became support. You pushed up, resistance, resistance. Come down, support, resistance, support, more support. We pushed up. This is a fib channel line. I have a line outlining it, but that's a fib channel line that's been there. See this line right here? Actually, that's a ring. That was our resistance. You knew to short from this point. And where did you come down and find support? Look at all the support, guys. Look at all that. It's already been mapped out for you. We came down. We found support. Look at this. This is a fib circle right here. Look where we found perfect support. To the dollar right here. Right on this ring. And now we're getting rejected by this 200 exponential moving average. So your support right now is 3,401. If we drop, your next support level to watch will be that ring again, 3,150. If that breaks, your next support level is right here, 2,995. If it's out here, it's 3,000. Adam, I have tutorials. I have 5 videos, 5 tutorial videos. If you go into premium content, it's $149 for 6 months. You get access to all the videos. I teach you how to create these charts from scratch. If you want to do lifetime, it's included. You get everything. Stocks, tutorials, Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metal, Discord, Twitter. If you sign up for the tutorials, you only get the tutorials. Yeah, no problem. And if you do want to sign up for lifetime, just contact me through the contact page. But guys, these are your support and resistance levels. And I'm telling you, they are accurate. You know that if you push up, if we hold support here, 3,400, all right? If we hold support, your next resistance to short is 3,719. If we break 3,400, your next support, this is a ring, depends on when you make contact, potentially 3,150, that's the point to potentially long up to this point. If this breaks, you'll have support at 3,000, not to mention this nice even number. But that's how you play the charts. And you say, well, let me follow this back. Let's look at this chart. Let's see why this could potentially be strong support. So we'll just pull this back. I already have one here. I'm just going to keep pulling this back. Show you how you play this. Let's see how many times this line was respected. Look at that perfect top right there. Just pull it back more. Actually, I'm even more confident buying there seeing this. Look at all of this support and resistance on the same trend line. Once you find the trajectory the price is moving, you have a roadmap where price is going. Look at this. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I could do this for an hour and a half. Support, 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 support. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. And right here, it was more resistance. It was support and resistance. Look how price is respecting this one line right here. Got a perfect wick right here. Perfect wick. Still respecting this line going way back. It was resistance, flipped as support. So where would you long Ethereum if it drops, guys? Right friggin' here. This is where you go long. If you want to use 10 times leverage, if you want to use 20 times leverage, be careful. I would buy right here because I know by this chart, this line right here is going to be a lot of friggin' support. So this is the point you long. Wait till it comes down to this point, long Ethereum from 3,000. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that people have been watching my tutorials and making charts. In Discord, a lot of people are sharing their own charts, and they share, they show moving averages and they draw trend lines showing what they're looking at. I mean, our Discord's a wealth of knowledge. But yeah, some people are actually creating their own charts, and I love seeing that. People using that method, finding their own fib circles, and creating these fib channels. It's awesome to see people using that method. But I do narrate from beginning to end. I have 5 videos. They're an hour long each. I teach you about trend lines. All my charts are based on trend lines. If you understand trend lines, most people say, oh, you draw a trend line where it's just below or just above. That's not how trend lines work. Price can respect a line going back for years. And it can be support and resistance. But the point is, it keeps getting respected over and over again. And the further back, the more times it's tested, the stronger it will be as support and resistance. So when you understand trend lines, then you can move on to playing around with fib circles. And then when you get to the third tutorial, I teach you how to use fib channels. Once you have fib channels and you understand my method, then you can create fib circles in just so many different ways and actually have price fit it. You're not guessing. When you understand how the tutorial works and you create these fib circles, I mean, it just opens up a whole new level of charting and finding potential targets. Well, thank you, Pablo. But again, guys, just if you're wondering about when to buy, if we break right here, 3,400-ish, if we break that, guys, you probably will catch a bounce on this ring. This happened before, it'll happen again. But if you're looking for a great point to long Ethereum, $3,000 is the point to do it. Oh shit, hold on. Well, let me refresh that chart and put it back. And you can see the Dow coming down from my ring. That's right, kitty. So, and let me make this larger. This is Ethereum chart. Let me put this up here so some of you know which chart's which. It's hard working with a small screen. Well, where the hell is my label? Alright, well, just take my word for it. This is Ethereum. Hold on. Let me put this back where it was. And this is the Ethereum E1 chart, by the way. I have multiple Ethereum charts. A lot of, like, I have 3 XRP charts. But this is the E1. Let me just put that on here. Alright, this is Ethereum E1 chart. And I'll make this bigger so you can see it. Hopefully this plays out during the stream. That'd be awesome. Make sure you can read that. Can you guys read that on a mobile phone? I know it's probably hard. Yeah, guys, and I'm telling you, I think it's very possible the Dow Jones, what's going to happen is we're going to potentially, if we come down, if we break this, again, we're going to have a crash. Otherwise, you would long from this point back to this ring. If we get above this, get bullish, but I think we'll keep getting rejected. At any point, when we break this trend line down here, that's when we crash. And again, that's when I think we'll have a major, major drop for Bitcoin. In the meantime, I'm still buying at that red ring. Dow's down 176 points. Amazing. What's going on, Crypto Demas? It's been a while. So guys, tell me, how have you been doing playing these charts? Be honest. If you're having issues with it, maybe I can help. If they're too difficult to understand, if you don't like the labels, if you've been doing well with them, let me know. I'm not going to hide you if you say something negative. Even if you have any suggestions, I'm listening. This is the point. This is the time to tell me. And by the way, ADA, your support is $2.04. If that breaks, your next support below is right here, guys. I'm going to give it to you right here. If $2.48, I'm sorry, if $2.04 breaks, your next support too long is $1.75. All right, so let's see here. I need to start using the notifications on TradingView, but often miss buys. I set buy orders. So if you do sign up for TradingView is free. It's free to create an account. What I do is if you pay for Pro, you can actually create alerts. So you can actually set price alerts, and it'll send an SMS to your phone. Very valuable to use if you're sleeping or out and about. Why is Dow Jones Industrial Average going down? Because it can't get above my magical ring. ETH support, currently support is 3,400. If that breaks, potentially 3,000 is a good point to long. I can't keep up with these. Portfolio up 45% yesterday. Awesome, Richard. The hardest thing is the timing. Well, Not really. If you load the charts up and have them up all the time, they play out live. Interested in the Wi-Fi chart? Yeah, the Wi-Fi chart does need to be updated. So that is what I'm going to do. Update current charts that are out of date. And then that's when I'll do a tweet to make new charts. Yes, BCH needs to be updated. I'm about 20 times short Bitcoin if it falls below 42K. Crazy accurate. A must-have roadmap. Thank you. All right, I can't read some of those. All right, Kevin, Steve, great job. When all the FOMO greedy moon boys were doubting you, nailed it, dude. Thank you, Kevin. Learn to read them. 63 Hamfer. Learn to read them. Not ready to make Mon ones, not just yet. That's fine. If down the road you do, if you have lifetime, even if you don't want to create charts, if you do watch the tutorials, it'll help you understand how these charts are so accurate, why they're accurate, or at least so you understand how I create the charts. Your charts are spot on, Steve. Been using them for a long time. Was one of your early starters. Thank you, Rosario. Right, I have Pro. I just haven't used it very much. We'll definitely use those alerts. They'll come in handy. Let's see. Baba Luga says drop now. TFK. I have not really been paying more attention, but they're always exactly as predicted. Thank you, TFK. Rob Reeves, love the charts. Thank you. Handletiff Meow, these charts are beautiful. Meow back at you. My little just started today, but super keen. I longed at 48 noob. We all, I feel you, man. Everybody wants to make a little more money. People get bullish. Often have to reload the E1 because the red ring disappears while adjusting time frames. I can't keep it. Yeah, I noticed sometimes maybe it's something to do with TradingView. I had a few charts when I would zoom in and out, they would change. And I fixed it by going in and removing some elements. I guess if you have too many elements on the chart, sometimes it screws it up. So I'm going to go back and remove some elements. So if you have it, my charts are shareable, guys. So if you have access to my charts, you can save them as your own. So you can change the time frame, add in indicators, do what you want. But if you do notice that's happening, go and remove some older elements. Like if I have price labels or lines or fib channels we're not using, just delete those, and that'll fix that problem. Can you explain a bit more about the $75 membership? Yeah, so if you're originally Marcer1234, so if you signed up back in the day before I had my new website, there was no minimum. You could donate 15 cents, $10, $20, and you were in for life. So those people only have access to Bitcoin, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. They don't have access to tutorials and stocks. So for $75, I'm giving you an option. If you want to pay that, you'll be full lifetime access. That's only for my OGs. I get a little confused jumping back and forth between them. I get it, but if I charted everything, Rob Reeves, if I charted everything on one chart, it would be even more confusing because there'd be so many damn support and resistance levels at different angles. You're like, you wouldn't know where to buy. That's why you go from one chart, you look at the closest support and resistance levels, then you go to the next chart. But you can open the charts in multiple tabs. Just right-click the link and open new tabs. Frankie Clark, Ethereum. Ethereum's still on point. If it gets out of date, I'll update it. Gareth says great things. Willie Chavez, you called the Dow drop weeks ago, and sure as heck it happened. Your advice has been valuable. Thank you, Willie Chavez. Flotation 2KC, I have a hard time understanding when support resistance level breaks. It's always a gamble. You just need to, have a little faith in it. You're not going to win them all. House of Ode, I don't say that wrong. Adoles. Your charts have helped me a lot for me not to FOMO in. I don't short, I hodl. Thank you. Jennifer Keys, do you use confirmation candles, etc. for your trades, or you just trust the charts? Just go back and look. Jennifer Keys, if you get a lot of resistance, a lot of support, I just showed you. Go back and look at a line. If it's been tested a lot, that's why I'm confident if Ethereum drops, a point too long Ethereum is 3,000. Yes, support for Ethereum right now is 3,400, and that is breaking. Do you leverage trade with Bybit? No, I will never use leverage. I have rules. I only buy spot. I buy support. I sell resistance. I'll never use leverage because it's too easy for exchanges just to wick you out. Some whale sends it up, sends you down, wicks you out. It's not worth it to me. It's safer to buy support, set a stop. If it breaks, buy next support. Can I do Matic? I will do a tweet soon and do new charts. I need to update current charts. Gareth, if you want to pay, just remember you need to wait till after the stream. I'll respond to all emails after the stream, and then I'll hook you up. Match 3 King Steve, some great charting, man. Thank you. Gypsy Mind, what is the best day of the month to join monthly? Anytime. If you join on the 13th of this month, then your subscription is good to the 13th of the next month. And you can cancel anytime, all right? If you want to cancel, all you have to do is log into PayPal, click on subscriptions, and click just remove the one for H Marketing Limited, and then you can still access the charts up until your subscription is expired. That's the best way to cancel. All right, I can't read all those guys. There's too many. I know the charts work. Mark Wayman, I know the charts work. I've been watching them for a while. I still find it hard to make the right decision at the time. Let's take E1 example right now. Still could go both ways. It's always a gamble. That's right. You can't win them all, but you do have a roadmap. I do know that if we come down, it is likely $3,000 will hold its support for Ethereum to catch a nice bounce. Is it possible that it just tanks right through it? Of course. It's just a safer play because you know potentially where your support resistance levels are. Lifetime member requests. Would you please consider creating a chart for ARR? Pirate Chain. Look, I will. Is it really? Arr, Pirate Chain. That's silly. Yeah, I will create new charts, guys. But remember, every time I create a new chart, it gives me more work to do, more charts to keep updated. I already have enough to keep updated. I'm going to update current charts, and then I will make a tweet to make more charts. How do you short without leverage? I don't think you can. But how I do it is you get to a resistance, you sell, you take your profit, you come down to support, you buy again. I mean, if you're playing with $100, you're not going to make much. If you're playing with one Bitcoin, it goes up $2,000, you made $2,000. All right, Rosario, have a good one. Doge hitting that ring tomorrow. I'm gonna load up those charts. We're gonna go through some of the altcoin charts and see. Okay, I'm catching up now. I'm just learned a lot from you, Steve, how to make and play your charts. Awesome. Some of these names are crazy. Alphonsus Sutrio. Well, thank you, Milla. Thank you, Steve. I'm so happy I found your channel. I'll be subscribing soon. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't use leverage. It's too risky for me. Some people, they like the gamble and they like the excitement and the adrenaline rush. Yeah, it's basically just spot trading. I just buy support and sell resistance. How does leverage work? You know, I've never used it, so I can't really tell you. I just know that you're betting on the price to go up or down. So I guess if you're shorting and the price goes up, you have to buy it back at the price it is when it goes up. Someone else here could explain that, or people in Discord. Rugupco, I make crazy money from Steve's charts. It's awesome. I like to hear that. Theta, fuel holding up surprisingly well. Theta actually pumped compared to yesterday's prices. Dayton Green, can I do a quick recap of Bitcoin chart? If you rewind the stream back, I did cover some charts and price targets. I have the stream set up so you can rewind it back anytime. I think everyone is gobbling up all the T-fuel. Match 3 King actually did a 100 times leverage from one of your resistance, but got wicked out. You know, I'm not telling you to do leverage. It's very risky. I do know this. When I buy support and I'm very confident that support will hold, I do not set a stop, because yes, they will come down. They will wick your ass out. I'm telling you, these exchanges, they know where your stop is, and they make money off of fees. So what I do is, if I know that it's going to be strong support, I will buy there. Sometimes I'll wait to see if it comes down below it, but sometimes it'll hit that support and push right up. So I typically buy at support. And then what happens is it might come down below it a bit, so I don't set a stop loss because I don't want to get stopped out. And then you'll notice price will push right back up. So once it's up and it's above, let's say, 0.5%, and it's a little above that, I set my stop 0.5% above support. That way, if price comes back down, I don't lose anything. I don't lose any fees because 0.5% covers my fees if I'm up from where I bought in. But yeah, I don't have a stop set until after I'm good in my trade. It's pushed up a bit because yeah, I don't want to be stopped out. Yeah, so Ethereum's coming down, and watch the ADA. I have those two charts up to show you. That will be your support around $2.04. If that breaks, we're probably headed down to $1.75. Pablo, if your debt to equity ratio reaches that level, the exchange sells your positions, repurchases the coin borrowed, and then pays it back to the loan. All right, thank you for explaining leverage. And yeah, leverage is dangerous. They can wick you good. Leverage is really dangerous and high risky on 100 times. Some people in Discord do it. I don't think I couldn't sleep or look away from the screen. I'd be a nervous wreck. Steve, I remember, but are so many charts from one coin? How can you focus on so many charts to make the best profits? As far as Bitcoin, again, what I try to tell people is Bitcoin is respecting trend lines going back for years in multiple directions. There are trend lines in different angles that price is respecting and will continue to respect. If I charted all that on one chart, it would be so much on the chart, all you would see were lines. That's why I chart them different ways on different charts, so you get a different perspective and points where price can potentially find support. So that's why, you work with one chart, then you go to the next chart. The group I'm in, someone made, I think he meant to say made 90,000 in 3 minutes, and of course, for his wallet, what he had in the trade, he did not even care about, but to somebody else, it would be a lot. All right. Yeah, Dogecoin, we did find the top. That Dogecoin chart did call. I mean, I said it was potential top. We dropped 45%. But guys, I'm going to take a quick break, make me some more coffee. I'll be right back, and we'll go through some of these altcoin charts and maybe look at some how these stocks played out. Bro, let's see, Match King, bro, the rush was amazing, man. Yeah, I imagine the rush is amazing until you get wrecked, and then depression. Should we buy now? Look, please, at A1 chart. All right. All right, so the A1 chart, we're at support. So if you want to chance a long here, yes. If you want to chance a quick long, guys, there are no guarantees. This is not financial advice. If you want to chance a long from this point, yes, you could chance a long right here. There's no guarantee. The highest it could possibly go on this chart before getting rejected would be right here at 46,689. If we break this, notice we've already broken this support on the B1 chart. That's why I say refer to different charts. But yes, this is support. You could chance it long, but I would be cautious, guys, that as long as the stock market's coming down, Bitcoin's probably coming down too. I would wait till you come down. Right now, we're teetering on this support. If you want to chance it long from here, chance it long. It's always a gamble, but you're at support. Typically, that's how you do it. If you're at support, you long support, you short resistance. How would this have worked here? If you would have longed right here, let me find my favorite. There we go. So if you would have longed this support, you did good. You made a profit of over 6%. This is resistance. Had you shorted resistance, all right, your total short right now, if you played it all the way down to the support level below, that's 11%. The bottom down here is 15%. So that would have been a good one. Had you longed right here, it did push up a bit, but then it broke it. It only pushed up 2%, and then it broke it. So that would have been a bad one. But had you shorted right here, look, when you came back up and tested resistance, had you shorted right there, that would have been a good trade. Came down a total of 9%. So yeah, I'm saying it's not going to be every time, but the majority of them will hold. That's what I'm saying. If you buy, if it drops below, get out of your trade. But if it holds and pushes up, you're in profit. If it breaks it, well, you know what? Then you long your next support right down here, 41,285. but it looks like it could break it. So guys, just be careful. And just remember, if it's an unsuccessful trade, get out of it. Do not stay in and hope it pushes up. If it starts dropping, accept your loss and then move on to the next one. There's plenty of trades, guys. If it pushes up, if you're using leverage, just wait till you get to the next resistance. I don't ever trade in between. Let's say that price is right here, right around here. I'm not going to trade that. I know if we get to here, I'll short this point or sell. If we get here, yeah, I'll buy or long, but I'm not going to do it if we're in limbo. So yes, this is an ideal point to chance a long, but it's very possible it'll break. What application do I use to keep all my charts showing on the screen at the same time? Yeah, I use this advanced application called Google Chrome. It allows me to have one link or one website showing in a window, and then I open up another window and put it to the right size I want next to that window, and then I can show multiple charts on the screen at the same time. Yeah, it's just a Windows in Google Chrome. It's not a big deal. All right. So we're going to watch this. Pay attention. If ADA, we will cover some altcoin charts. If ADA breaks $2.04, we're coming down to $1.75. The Dow is down 212 points. I'm telling you, be very cautious longing and getting bullish. I'm telling you, if the markets continue down, there is a lot more downside. Play the bounces. Just be careful. All right, let me get these arrows off of here and put this back on rotation with these charts. And remember what I said, guys. If you have access to the charts, have the B1 open and have the E1 chart open, because I do believe that target down below on the B1 chart, have a yellow line there. I think that will be the point we make contact with that red ring. Yeah, I you know, people say, oh, there's an inverse head and shoulders. There's some bullish divergence. It doesn't matter. That's the problem. A lot of these people, and I'm not gonna name names, but a lot of these people that do you know, Bitcoin analysis, YouTubers, they're just looking at the Bitcoin charts. That's it. Oh, we're in this pattern. We'll potentially go up. Everything's bullish. They don't look at the rest of the markets. Guys, if you don't look at the rest of the markets, you don't look at the U.S. dollar, and you don't look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, you can't know what's going to happen. That's how I knew we were coming down, because I expected a correction with the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones came down a total. I told you this was potentially the top. The Dow Jones dropped. How much did it drop? It dropped from 35,000 down to 33,556. I said that was going to happen. It was coming down. When that happened, Bitcoin came down with it. So using the stock market, you can actually predict if you can find the tops, which is what I help you do. I've helped you find the top for the Dow. It helps you find the top for Bitcoin, and now I'm telling you where the bottom is for Bitcoin, at least a temporary bottom, and it's that red ring. All right, I'll be back, guys. Before I do refresh my coffee, again, guys, at any time you want to access these charts, if you don't want to wait for an email from me, the link to sign up is right here. You can pay, it's through PayPal, but you can pay with credit card through PayPal as well. So the subscription options are there. If you're interested in lifetime, full access, one-time payment, never pay again, and you can pay with crypto. If you're interested in that, just contact me through the contact page, guys. My email address is there. After the stream, I will email everyone back. And remember, if you are subscribed, yeah, the Discord's awesome, guys. You love the Discord. Everybody's sharing information, and everybody takes it serious. They're not there spamming or goofing off. Well, we have a little fun, but there's a wealth of knowledge in Discord. But if you do want to do lifetimes, contact me through the contact page. And after this this stream, I will email everybody back the same email. But remember, if you are subscribed, you need to contact me to get the Discord invite link and to get to follow me on Twitter. So make sure if you're subscribed, you email me. If you don't email me, I'm not going to reach out to you. You have to reach out to me. Maybe I'll go back and explain it in a minute. I'm going to take a little break, but you can rewind the stream back. All right, guys. So let's go through a couple of the some of these altcoin charts. Let's look at I've got ADA and ETH on the screen. So let's look at Litecoin. And the same thing, guys. Each one of these charts, just like I'm trying to teach you how to play the Bitcoin chart. Same with Litecoin. Same with Ethereum. Look how accurate this has been. And this is what I'm talking about. While it's not always going to hold, you know this white line has been a lot of support and resistance. And look right here. Look at this line. And we know that this has been strong support and resistance right here. It was resistance, flipped as support, pushed up. And look what happened. We came down, support, resistance, support. We pushed above it, okay? So if you shorted there, that would have been a bad short. But notice what happened. We came down, found support, pushed up resistance. Look what happened. Perfect support on this green line. Came up as resistance. Perfect support right here. Pushed back up now. This is support. All right, hold on, guys. Be right back. All right, so let me give you some support and resistance levels to pay attention to. So you can see that we found, hold on, you can see that we found perfect support right here. And this line already had mapped out. Look, right here. You knew this was support and resistance. Look where we dropped to and found support. So if you're playing Litecoin, you're buying right here. This is how you play it. If you know this line has previously been tested, look, you got perfect support right here. Resistance, support. So when it came down, this is a point you would long from. And had you longed Litecoin from this point right here, notice it came down just below this. I'm saying, if you're going to long or buy in, have faith in the chart. If it breaks below at a certain point, eventually you have to accept your loss and get out. But had you stayed in and bought there, we pushed up a total of, that's 10%. So you knew right here, $266 was the point that you buy. And you can see currently your support right now that needs to hold. This is a point you potentially would long. Again, you long support, you short resistance. So if we hold 282, we could potentially push up. Your resistance to watch is $299, roughly $300 right here. If we come down and we break 276, if we break 282, your next support is 267. Then your next support level below, and guys, you have a lot of support down here. You have this line here, we've been respecting this one. Hold on, I just moved the fib channel, gotta be careful with that. You're respecting this as support and resistance, and you got all of these support levels here. You got this one, and you got the one below. So you have a lot of support with Litecoin down here around potentially $249 to $240. That'd be a great buy-in. But this is all I do, guys. I just swing trade. You buy at support. I might have taken my profit, right here. And I missed out on some extra profit, but it could have come right back down. So again, just like if you buy here, it could break it. It didn't. It was a good trade. I would have sold right here. I missed out on extra profit. I don't care because there's plenty of trades, all right? There's more trades to be made. If you come down, you buy right here. If it breaks, no big deal. You buy right here and ride it back up. So those are your price targets for Litecoin, guys. I mean, it's in the charts. All you need to do is just have the chart. Your current support for Litecoin, if it breaks, 282. If that breaks, 267 is where you buy. If that breaks, 248. If that breaks, right here. This is your next support, 240. And if that breaks, your next support for Litecoin is right here. But keep in mind, guys, these are at an angle. So if I give you a price today, tomorrow that price will be different because as it takes longer, that price goes up. That's why having access to the charts is going to help you out. And they play out live on your phones, tablets, desktop. Click the link, they load up. But again, I'm just showing you, I mean, look at this right here. We almost touched it. This was the very top for Litecoin. And I'm curious, I'm going to follow this back and see why we topped out there. Let's see the significance of this line right here. Let me get rid of these Bollinger Bands. Let's look and see why this was the top. I don't know if if we'll see if this line has any significance, but let's follow it back and see if this was respected. It might not. This might be worthless, me doing this, waste of time, but I am curious because this line did play a role. This fib channel line played a role as our top. Let me zoom out. Let's see if we respect this at some point. Look at that. Alright, there you go. That is why that was a top. Look how many times we tested this. A lot of support here, a lot of support and resistance. This right here is the 25th of December 2019. Let's pull this back more. And again, just like I said, so look, you could follow this line right here. This has been a lot of support. This has been a lot of support and resistance. So if we start pushing up, you know that this line, way the hell out in the future, this line will be respected again. So you know if you push up, this is a point to take your profit. But we topped out at this line. Let's see if I go back if this is respected again. On the 2 hour, this might take a while. Alright, let me jump to the 4 hour. Oh, that's as far back as it goes. But again, if you understand how these charts are made, these fib channels are based on the trajectory prices going. But I can tell you this right here is going to be very strong support and resistance. So let me give you a macro target. Let's say that something happens and things get bullish. This is one hell of a, this is way the hell up here. But if things got really, really bullish for this Litecoin, if things got really bullish, you know for a fact, because this line has been respected so much so far back, you know that if Litecoin pushed up, that would be a target around 2,000, let's say $2,100. That'd be crazy if Litecoin hit that target. But that's what I'm saying. Go back and look. You know these lines have been respected in the past. So when you hit it, that is the point you take your profit. But this is just for swing trading these targets here, guys. These are the targets currently you want to pay attention to for Litecoin. If we break 282, you're coming down to 267. You break that, 248. Again, these are nothing but fib retracements at an angle, guys. Watch the tutorials. If you have lifetime or you have access to tutorials, watch them. You understand how these charts are set up. Alright, let's load up BNB, guys, because BNB has been a very accurate chart. Let's see here. Binance Coin. And, you know, I have this published, too. I can show you the published version of this chart. And look look at this line, alright? Let's just follow this back. And notice this ring, and notice this right here. So look, this right here, this is BNB. Notice this was, it's not my arrow. So notice this line right here, this line that I'm showing right here. Notice this was resistance. And look, it was resistance again. And then you'll see it was resistance right here. Again, follow the trajectory price is following. Then notice we pushed above it, it became support, right? Notice we even found support on this ring. This ring was resistance, flipped as support, potential point to buy. Notice this next line, this is the next fib channel line up. It became resistance. And then it ended up acting as support and resistance. Look what happened. Topped out again. Topped out again. Again, it keeps giving you points to long and short. Look at that. And where did you find support? Well, you can see right here. If this was resistance, and this was resistance, and this was support, where's your next support? Right here, repeatedly. We did wick below it. That's what I'm saying. Have confidence in the chart. You know this is strong support. You buy here, you ride it up. Look where you got rejected. Right here. And currently, look, this line got respected again. It was support, and then it flipped as resistance. So all of your targets, look, if we drop, you know right here. This was all of your support right here. A lot of support and resistance. I mean, there's a lot of chop. But you know if you drop, your next major support is right here. if you come down, the next point, now every one of these lines will be respected. Your current support that needs to hold right now on Binance Coin is 516. If you drop, the next point you long is right here, potentially $470 to $465. That's where you would buy in. And if we push up, things start getting bullish, where's your resistance? Well, it's proved to be strong support and resistance again. So if we push up, $612. Your next resistance above that we topped out, so that's going to be very strong resistance around 663 to 661. So again, all of these have your price targets already mapped out. And look, this line here, this is also support and resistance. Notice we kept finding support on it. Support. We broke it. So if we push up, this is also going to be resistance right here. And that price target is right here around $569. And your current resistance above is right here. This is your resistance you need to go up. If you expect it to go higher, we have to break above 540. That's a very strong resistance. The current support, 517. If you drop down to, let's say, 470 to 463, that is the point you buy. Godiva. My cat's name is Godiva. So those are price targets for Binance Coin, guys. Your most important support levels. Yes, you probably will catch a bounce right here at $496, but your strongest support is going to be right here, 470 to 463. Does that make sense? I mean, do you understand how you play these charts? While yes, there's no guarantee that a support resistance level will hold, you do have an idea. It's a safer play. You know that if you can see this has been respected, we got rejected perfectly. So if you push up 569, perfect point too short. If you push above, you definitely want to short 614. And if you happen to push up to 662, get the hell out. Be happy you made your money. Take your profit. Let's look at Chainlink. Yeah, Chainlink needs to be updated. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Some of these charts, I do need to update these charts. And that's what I'm going to take some time doing. Someone asked about Ethereum. Somebody asked about XRP. Notice right here, I know that you see this yellow line, you're like, what is this yellow line? Why is this yellow line here? Well, this is actually a fib channel line right here. I just have it highlighted. Notice we pretty much topped out right here. So you knew this is a point to take your profit. These fib channel lines are here for a reason. And notice where we came down. Look, we came down, we found support, we broke it, found support on this twice. Why? Why did we find support right here? Because we topped out right here. We got rejected. Then we pushed up to this fib channel line, support and resistance, pushed up, topped out here. So if you come down, for a fact, since this was resistance, support twice, if you come down, this is a great buy-in right here. That's why I have this price label here. This is a great buy-in for XRP. Right here around 72 cents. Your current support right now, let's see. So your current support right now that needs to hold is right here at $1.44. And I will add more fib channel lines to this chart. But look at this line. You can barely see it. This has also been support and resistance right here. So if you come down, if you break below $1.45, your next support that needs to hold is $1.32. You could actually long it up to here. If that breaks, your next support is right here, $1.19. Been respected. If that breaks, this is where you want to buy, guys, right here. This is the point that you go long. And if that breaks, each one of these will be your support. And if we happen to push up, your next point to get rejected is this next fib channel line above. Again, fib retracement, but it's a fib channel. So up here around potentially $2. Should you buy more ETH now? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to hodl, I don't know. I think hodling is silly. I think it's smarter just to find the tops, take your profit, buy lower. Can you imagine people that bought Bitcoin around $64,000 and they listen to these people that say, oh, well, if you never sell, you never lose money. Just never sell. Well, if you had sold, if you bought one Bitcoin at 64,000 and you're like, okay, it's probably topped out. If you would have sold, you could have bought your Bitcoin at $42,000. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. Never sell, just buy the dips. So you sell at 65,000. If you rode it up to that point, if you followed me, I say, hey guys, that's probably the top. It was. You sold at 65,000. You bought back at 44,000. You bought a lot more Bitcoin with the money you had. I just think that's ridiculous. People just say hodl. I get it. I know what they're saying. Yeah, if we're just having a correction, stay in. Eventually, in a few years, it'll go up to 100,000. Sure, but why not take your profit and buy cheaper? That means you have more Bitcoin when it hits 100,000. It's just silly. But that's what I do, guys. I help you find the tops, help you find the bottoms. That orange ring was the top. I think the red ring is at least going to be a temporary bottom for a nice bounce up to the 21. And I think that's going to be a 30% pump from that red ring. So if a 30% pump is worth it to you, pay $39. You get access to that chart. Steve, are we still projecting your NB? Again, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. If the Dow Jones and the S&P and the NASDAQ, let's say we get another stimulus package passed here in the U.S., if the markets continue to push up and there is no major correction, if we keep continuing up with the markets, just like where we bottomed at 3,000 with Bitcoin, 3,900, where the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ bottom, we pushed up ever since. Bitcoin's been pushing up as well. If the markets continue up, Bitcoin will continue up. If that happens, yes, I believe that peak of the bull run 2.0 chart will be dead on. I think that is our target. By December 28th, 2021, yes, we will hit that target. If we have a major correction with the stock market, just like during our COVID crash, then the bull run is put on hold or postponed, and we will have much lower targets. So again, I'm telling you, it depends on the markets. Follow the markets. You'll know what happens with Bitcoin. In the meantime, swing trade it on the way up and the way down. I hope we get some moves soon, but again, if you want a chance along, keep in mind this ribbon's pushing us down, but if you want a chance along with Ethereum, this would be the point to do it. If we do break this, with some volume and come down, watch right here around 3,150, but 3,000 looks like a great buy-in for Ethereum. If ADA breaks $2.04, we're coming down to $1.75. And I have these rotating. Let's see. So notice we wicked below, but look, we're holding support right here. You're going to get wicks. That's what they do. They wick you out. But currently holding support at 44,306. If we push above, guys, right here, if we push above, let me take this off rotation. If we push above this yellow trend line that we've been respecting right here, and you can see what I'm talking about. This yellow trend line, resistance, 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 resistance. We pushed above it, still resistance, still resistance, still resistance. So if we do push above, if we push above that yellow trend line, then that could be bullish for a little upside. Otherwise we get rejected 45,317. If you push above and hold support, then likely we'll push up to this point. And that would be right here at 46,873. That would be your next resistance. And notice right here, when we broke above this yellow line, this trend line, where did we get rejected? Guys, literally to the damn dollar. Look at that. That's to the friggin' dollar. Right here, you knew when you pushed up. You want a chance to short? Bam, there you go. So again, price targets, it's already mapped out. It's not guaranteed. but at least you can make safer trades. You know, hey, if you're going to do a short, why not do it from right here? This seems like a likely point to do it. This line's been tested, it's support and resistance going way back. So if there's a point that it's going to drop, it's probably going to be here, and that's what happened. You could have tried longing from this point, not a good trade. But you come down to this point, you long here, hell, that was a damn good trade right there. That was 6%. All right, let me try to get this back the way it was. And again, the names of the charts I always show, you know, in a tweet, or whether it's a video, I always show the names of the charts. This is the B1 chart. And this is the C1 chart. And remember, the B1 chart has that next support level below where I think we'll make contact with that red ring. So currently your resistance right now on the C1 chart is 44,873. And your next support level, according to the D1 chart, 41,731. Your resistance is Let me make this bigger so you can see them, guys. Hold on, it's gonna change on me. Shit. So those are your current support resistance levels to watch on the D1 chart. And right here, your current support resistance levels on the A1 chart. Can you save B1 so the yellow trend line is extended? So can I save the B1? The B1 is right here. Yeah, I need to do that. Hold on. If I save the chart the way it is, so Bitcoin's dropping right now. Yeah, I can do that. Give me one sec. I'll have to update the chart. Yeah, I'll extend that out. And that's the great thing about these charts, guys. Since they're shareable and they're live, that means when I make a change to the chart and I hit save, as soon as you load up the chart or hit refresh, you see those changes. So a lot of times I'll add something to the chart and I'll make a tweet saying, hey guys, refresh B1, you'll see those changes. So if you sign up through the website, it is monthly, but you can cancel anytime. All you do is log into PayPal, click on subscriptions, remove the one for H Marketing Limited. As soon as you remove that, you'll still have access to the charts, but once your monthly subscription's up, then you'll lose access. But you cancel through PayPal. And you will continue to have access. So if you just want to pay for 1 month, sign up, and then immediately go into PayPal and cancel your subscription. You'll continue to get access. So basically you just paid for 1 month. But yes, if you do not cancel, you'll be charged the next month. Alright, so you said the B1 chart, let me extend that out. Let me do that real quick. Yeah, we can load up peak of the bull run chart. Actually, that chart nailed the that white ring. It came down, hit that white ring exactly, and bounced. It's just crazy how these flip circles work. The F1 chart did the same. There was a red ring on there. Every time I hit the red ring, they got a bounce. I wasn't even looking at it. Someone mentioned it in Discord. All right, B1. Hold on, guys. All right, so B1. Let me load this chart up and extend that out. Alright, it's been extended, and you'll notice right here it says your chart layout was changed. I'm not going to reload it, but that means if you load the chart up now, you'll see the changes. Yeah, so Ahmed, thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, let me show you this F1 chart. I haven't been using the F1 chart, and that's why if you're in Discord, a lot of people in Discord have their own charts. They're looking at charts I'm not looking at, and they say, hey, check out this chart. We're coming up to this ring, or this ring just found support. So the F1 chart, it's one I use less often, but let me show you what this person's talking about. All right, let's load up F1, and you can see what they're talking about. This red ring, it's crazy, and that's why I archive a lot of charts, because you never know how they might come in handy later on. So look right here. I mean, you can see these are fib circles, guys. Look how well price has been respecting this chart. I've had this chart for a while. Let me get rid of this ribbon. So notice right here. Notice this white ring, guys. This is how you can potentially find tops. Notice right here. Let me find my arrow. So notice it got topped out right here. This is a fib channel line. Notice it became support right here. And it was support. And notice we found more resistance at this ring. This red ring has also been respected. Notice there was a lot of support and resistance through here. But look what happened over here. You found support on it repeatedly. Also, this white ring, look, white ring right here, resistance. Came down the same white ring we respected before, support. You also have your fib channel line here. If you have support, if you have a ring you're respecting and a fib channel line, you know for a fact this is potentially point too long. We pushed up. Look where we topped out to the tick. Look at that. This white ring. It's probably hard to see. Let me make it thicker. Right here. So you follow this ring back. This is the next ring above. This is all the same fib circle here. So if you're respecting this ring right here as resistance, right? A lot of resistance. That's how you know later on this ring above will be respected as well. That's how I knew potentially that orange ring was a top for Bitcoin. And then when we came down, this is that next ring right here. This is two rings above. But notice this ring with support right here. I'll make this different color so you can see it. So this ring right here, this ring right here was support. It was more support, and look what happened. The ring became a resistance. Look, 1, 2, 3 times. And look where we found support, right on this red ring. Then we found support on it again, broke below it, and now it's currently support. So just based on this chart right now, you know your current support on this ring is 44,227. If you push up, again, have different charts up. A target to the upside. We've been respecting the hell out of this ring. Resistance, 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 resistance. Came down as support, support. If we push up, there's a point right there, 48,523. And, according to this chart, your next fib channel line below is right here at 41,765. So that's why I say, guys, always load up different charts. I know sometimes people say you got so many charts. Trust me, I save these charts. If you go through each of them and you try to understand how they work, you can find tops and bottoms, point to put in a perfect short, perfect long. But yeah, so we're breaking this right now, guys. And again, I told you downside for the Dow. The Dow's down 209 points. I haven't looked at the S&P and the NASDAQ. I'm sure they're probably down as well. So Bitcoin's coming down. Now I have these in rotation, all right? So your next support level to watch. I'm going to give you this, all right? Your next support level on the C1 chart right here. 42,000-ish, right? This chart, I'm not giving you the support level below, because if we hit that support level, we're going to hit the damn ring. Your next support below 44,200 is 41,285. And your next support level on this chart, shit. Your next support level on this chart, 41,285 and 41,633. So I'll just let these play in rotation. Let's see what happens. The Dow's really coming down. So if you guys are playing the Dow like I am, look, you would short the orange ring and you would potentially long at the yellow fib channel line. But do understand what I'm saying. I don't care if you're bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on Dogecoin, if you think we're going to the moon. If this yellow trend line on the Dow Jones breaks, it's all coming down. Everything. You know, I can tell you this. I expect to catch at least a 30% bounce on that red ring on the top right chart. If we hold resistance underneath the 21 weekly moving average, if that becomes resistance, I'm sorry to say for you bulls and moon boys, if that holds as resistance, we are in a bear market. If we push back above it and hold support, we're back in a bull run. But we already broke it. I told you 3 traps are playing out. 3rd trap played. I mean, it played out exactly, guys. I said we would come down, and I thought we'd hit the 21 week too. The first trap we didn't. You know, it fell in support and we pushed up. I said the second trap, it was pushing up. People were getting bullish. I said we would get rejected, potentially a right shoulder. If that right shoulder plays out, that will send us to that red ring. I said the second trap is pushing up. People got bullish. And I said the 3rd trap, we come down, we tested 21 week. People thought it would hold because typically, historically, if you're in a bull run, you always hold the 21 week moving average and continue up. I said it would break. It did. And ultimately, we're headed to this red ring where I'm going to be buying. Do you think it's better to trade support, resistance, breaks, or reversals? That's how I trade. I buy at support and sell at resistance. Sometimes I'll sell at resistance and it'll continue above it, but that's okay. Sometimes I'll wait and ride it up higher, but sometimes if you do that, it'll come right back down. Yeah, that's what they say. I guess that's what they need to say to support themselves. They bought at $65,000. It dropped $20,000. They're saying to themselves, "It's okay, as long as I don't sell, I don't lose anything." And they'll be saying that all the way down. It's just amazing to me. But hey, whatever makes them happy, and they're probably right. If they hold on to it, maybe in a few years it'll go back up above that point. That's why I don't like to stay in Bitcoin. I just like to swing trade it. Plus, you can make more money. I'm sorry I'm not giving you that price. You have to get access to the charts. I put too much damn work into this chart to get this away free to the public. You want access to it, sign up. Otherwise, I'll show you after the fact. If you want to sign up, right here. Again, it depends on the stock market. Demas, it depends. If the stock market continues up, get bullish on Bitcoin. The markets have a major correction, we're probably going to enter a bear market. I mean, I do give you support resistance levels to pay attention to these live streams and these videos. But that red ring, I've created that a long time ago. And that's privileged. If people have access to the charts, they have those targets. And I can't just give that out to everybody. Again, I can't give you the price. And besides, I don't know the price because it's a ring at an angle. It's not a price. It's when you make contact. When you make contact depends on the price. I don't know the double bull run theory. Is that like something in 2013 where we shot straight up, had a little correction, and shot up again? This pi cycle top where it calls for a top, it drops a bit, and it has one more parabolic run before it drops. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. I think we're already headed down. I think we're headed down to that red ring. I think we're going to get one hell of a bounce. And then I think at that point we're going to get rejected at the 21-week moving average, or it will hold support. But regardless, I'm chancing buying that red ring. I showed you why it's so important. Whenever we make contact, I'll be buying there. And I do expect us to potentially push up, test that 21 week. And again, that'll be close to 30% profit. Depending on when we make contact. Could be more, it could be less. And yes, it's possible it breaks. If it does, guys, I got your targets below as well. Well, I can tell you this, if my peak of the bull run chart plays out, I did put it, yeah, it's on the E1 chart. I did copy it to another chart, but that's for people in Twitter to know. If it falls below the ring, how much are you willing to lose? Well, I have enough faith in the fact that we'll catch a bounce there that I don't think I'll lose anything. But, you know, if it starts dropping below it, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I guess I'll have to decide that when it happens. But I'm very confident that it'll hold support there and push up. No, I have not played around with fib time extensions. I just use fib channel. I mean, I occasionally fib retracements. I just don't really use them. I use fib channels. I mean, if you watch these charts, you understand how they work. But yeah, just fib channels, fib circles, and trend lines, guys. Trend lines are all you really need. I mean, fib channels help you project potential bottoms and tops to swing trade. But trend lines are the most important thing. Once you find those trend lines that price is respecting, you can come up with amazing charts. Well, I can tell you this. If I were you, I'd look at the MACD and the RSI on multiple time frames. That's why I have most of these charts, A1 through E1. I have them on different time frames, 1 hour all the way up to the 1 day. If you're at support and the MACD looks bullish and the RSI looks bullish, you know, it's probably going to push up. You know, if it looks bearish and you're at resistance, if the MACD looks like it's curl over, you're at resistance, then that gives you a little more confirmation you're probably coming down. But to me, this looks bearish as shit. Alright guys, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to drink some water. Refresh my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, guys, let's watch the magic. Let's see. Ethereum is dropping. Let's see if we catch a bounce on that ring. So I'll make this a different color here. This is your first support on the E1 chart. I have multiple charts. I'm gonna make this. Let's make it red. I guess that's kind of a purple. So let's see if we find support here if it comes down. And watch right here. This is your current support for ADA. $2.04. If that breaks, guys, we're headed down to $1.75. No problem. Yeah, so again, I know some of you don't like Twitter. I get it. What I do normally is an optical art updates. It's a channel on our Discord. That's where I post where I do have videos or updates. But what I'll do is I'll just take a screenshot of what I posted on Twitter, and I'll just put that screenshot in optical art updates NB. That way for you guys that don't use Twitter, you can still see what my tweets are if it's important. I wish I could have more charts on the screen at the same time so we could watch, you know, BNB and Litecoin and some others, but I only have so much room on my screen. But I cannot emphasize enough how important that orange ring is on the Dow Jones. I'm telling you that it is very possible that we are due for a major correction with the stock market. And if that happens, that means we could have a lot more downside for Bitcoin, for altcoins, all of it, whole gamut. Crypto Demonster, I mean, I did, you know, I told you on that chart with that red ring, you know, we kept hitting it, we kept getting rejected. You know, I called tops. I said, guys, I think we're topped out. Every time I said we're topped out, we did top out. And we came back down. We did push up higher. We hit that red ring and got rejected again. I thought the next time we hit that red ring, we would get rejected. We didn't. We pushed above it. Okay, now it's time to get bullish. If you remember, you guys remember the animation I did about that blue ring? Remember I made that entire animation? I just said we're approaching that blue ring. I said that potentially could be a top. Well, it wasn't a top, but we got rejected by that blue ring. We hit it to the tick, got rejected 20%. And then I said, hey guys, we're now above that ring. Every time it hits that ring, I'm going to buy. So every time we hit that blue ring, you bought. I mean, every single time it came down and hit that blue ring, it bounced. Twice. Awesome, Carl. Yeah, and if you do, just make sure you send me an email, and I will send you the Discord invite link and give you or show you how to follow me on Twitter. Basically, I'll send you my Twitter link, and you click follow, and then you'll have to email back with your Twitter handle, so I know who to accept the request from. But guys, if you've already sent me a Twitter follow request, I'm not going to accept it unless I get an email and verify you're subscribed. Yeah, down 200 points. I expect it to continue down until we test that yellow line down there. Again, charts are accurate. Stocks, altcoins, Bitcoin. But currently, Bitcoin is holding support at $44,200. I mean, it could push up from there. If that breaks, you know, your next target on the A1 chart is 41,285. Yeah, I can load up BNB real quick. All right, let's see. All right, BNB. So we're at support right now. Your support right here, this holding currently, is $517. Looks like it's breaking that now. Your next support to watch. Your next support level to watch will be right here, right at $497. Let's go back and look. You can see this has been, so your next support level right here, and you can see this has been respected. Not as many times. It was, look, it was resistance, flipped as support. We did get this crazy wick right down here. You know, this is very strong support. This line right here, very strong support. But you got 3 wicks down here, found support. You got resistance here. So you know this will be strong support. Up here, we did test it repeatedly, dropped below it. You know, we had wicks down below it, respected this ring. So your next support level to watch is 497. But you know, going back and looking at the chart, since we bottomed right here, right? And we found resistance here, you know that if we drop, a likely point to catch a bounce is going to be right here around 471. This would be a good buy-in for BNB. You know, if it drops below it, I would buy in at 464. You know, good long 471 to 463 on BNB. Well, again, people chart different ways. People use horizontal lines. People use fib retracements. I just use the charts I create. Chart shows me that if you drop down to 471 to potentially 464, that's where you buy. And if you push up, you can clearly see your resistance. It was right here, $538. And now your resistance is $517. And this is on the 3 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. Notice right here, you can see this support. You did break below it a bit. Perfect resistance. And now we're below this point. So now your support right now that we're headed down to is right here, $498. And again, if we shoot straight down, you know, if we drop straight down, 470 to potentially 466. Very, very strong support. Charts don't lie. Steve, considering USD has become a crap coin, would you ever consider just doing charts against BTC or ETH? I'm sorry, but you know what? You know, when I buy my groceries and, you know, I pay my bills, I do it in USD. So I want to know what it is compared to the US dollar. So that's why I have them in USD. I don't care what Bitcoin is compared to Ethereum. You know, I guess down the road I could create charts like that, but I want to know what the value is. I want to know if I sell, this is how much money I'm going to make. So that's why I do it in USD. Now I do have a Euro chart that people use. That chart's been very accurate. That's under my Bitcoin charts as well. And keep this in mind. You know, I know you're talking about I assume you're talking about USD coin. But keep this in mind, guys. If the stock market starts tanking, all right, which I think we're due for a major correction, and Bitcoin is a hedge against the US dollar. If markets start correcting, you can already see, you know, I think gold's pushing up, silver's pushing up, but keep this in mind. If everything starts correcting, they will jump into the US dollar. It says Bitcoin is a hedge against the US dollar. If the US dollar starts pushing up, Bitcoin's coming down. Well, there you go. There's someone, and Rugupko, I don't know how to say your name. Some people ask, they say, well, if I watch your tutorials and I've never charted before, would I be able to figure it out? Would it be too advanced? So, had you had any charting experience before? Would you say you're a novice, or would you say that you're an expert? What was your level, and how easy or difficult was it to learn that method that I came up with? Can you explain how to use the stock charts? I don't if I am stupid, but I have trouble to handle with these charts. Like a guppy fish, Rugupko. Alright, Rugupko. when do you think will the stock market correcting in a very roughly time frame? I can tell you this. I think it's possible within the next 27 days we're going to be bouncing back up and down between that yellow line and that orange ring. At any point when that yellow line breaks down below, that's when we have our major correction. So between now and the next 27 days, that's the apex. But at any time we break that yellow line. So we could drop down to that point, break it, and then we're coming down. Awesome. Okay, well there you go. So anybody that's curious if they can do these charts for themselves and have not much experience, there you go. As far as stocks, so keep this in mind. Someone would request an altcoin chart. I was doing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, the popular coins. People said, "Hey, can you create something for Polkadot?" I created one. Someone said, "Can you create one for OMG coin?" I created one. I can't keep them all updated. Because it's too many charts. I am going to take some time and go through and update the current charts I have. And I will make some more charts. But guys, I could just delete those charts and not have them. Why give myself that extra work? I left them there. You can use them. I will go and update them. But I mainly update and work with the most relevant coins. And then I'll go through and I'll update the fib channel lines and try to get them all up to date. Like Chainlink needs to be updated. I know that. So if you're signing up to get access to the Chainlink chart, maybe you want to wait until I update that chart. Yeah, and the stock charts, when I create those are good for months and months and months and months, because those are usually on the daily. But some of those need to be updated as well. Not that you can't play them, but I need to spend some time updating some of the charts. Dogecoin, Dogecoin, let me load it up. And keep in mind, you guys that follow me on Twitter, did I not call potentially, did I not say where the top was for Dogecoin? We might have pushed up above it, but I did let you guys know when we had that 45% drop. If you follow me. And I have this chart published. I can show you the published version of this chart. Notice this ring. And guys, this is what I'm saying. People don't understand how powerful these rings are. This is why I guess this is new to a lot of people. Notice right here, this is what I said. Every time you cross a fib channel line, expect to get a pump. Got a pump. We crossed this fib channel line, I said long. We got a pump. Right to this fib channel line, you got rejected. That's where you short. This is where I made the tweet. I said, at this point, guys, this is probably where you want to take your profit. And that was a tweet I made, and we came down a total of 45%. But look what happened as we approached. This is the same fib circle right here. See how well price is respecting this fib circle? Again, let me move this so you can see it. All the same fib circle. So again, this is Dogecoin. This is support, support, support. We came up to the next ring, support, bottomed on this one, pushed up, support and resistance, came down, more support. We pushed up to this ring, not much happened, we just pushed up. But since price is respecting this fib circle so well back here, look, perfect support, came down to support. Since it's respecting it here, while nothing much happened at this ring, look what happened when we approached this ring. We moved right down it. Resistance, 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 resistance. Then we got underneath this point, guys. I told you, I said as long as we are below this yellow line, I did say that this is where you would buy. It did push up. If you paid attention and you were following me, that was a 34%, actually 35% profit. But look what happened. We hit the yellow ring. It pushed down it. Now we're below this major resistance. This goes back a good ways. So as long as we're below this, and look what's happening. We're coming up on the next ring. If this ring pushed us down, right? If Dogecoin was pushed down this ring, it is very possible we're coming up on this next ring right now to push us down more. So it's time analysis. Rings give you support and resistance and potential points to watch for a move. And how far are we away from this ring right now? Let's see. I have this on the 2 hour. We're moving down now, so at if we continue sideways, within the next 20 hours, we could potentially be doing the same thing we did right here. So again, you know, we move down this ring. We could do the same damn thing. But, you know, and this is what I'm saying, you know, these fib channel lines I updated, but you notice how you see these lines are separated? That's why I need to go back and I have to remove these fib channel lines and create new fib channel lines based off of the original scaffolding, or when I created the original fib channels. Then I go in and add more. I mean, you can see we respected this line here. This was support, right? This right here was support. But you see, I don't have any fib channel lines in this direction. But you can see currently this is our support right here. So once we break this support right here, you know, potentially we're coming down lower. So your next major support I have until I update this chart, if you're looking to catch a bounce, it's down here around 28, let's say what, 29 cents? It's very possible that's where we're headed, guys, right down here. And then once we cross this, you could get a pump. Yeah, I hear people say that, Lucas, there's so many lines, something will hit. For someone with a low IQ, you probably ate paint chips as a kid. I understand this looks confusing to you. Yes, eventually if you push up, you're going to hit a line. That is correct. All of these lines, you're eventually going to hit one. But what you can't understand, apparently, is if, and that's just what's so funny, people that say that, you're eventually going to hit each line. Yeah, that's right. But when you hit this damn line, it came down. You hit this damn line, it pushed up. You hit it, it pushed up. You hit it, it pushed up. Hit this damn line again, it got rejected. Hit this line, found support. Hit this line, got resistance. These aren't random lines. You hit it, you get a bounce. You're not just fucking hitting lines like this, all right? I don't know. It just bothers me. But it shouldn't, because, you know, generally people are stupid. Or maybe just mad because they lost money. Pardon my French. Again, if you think they're just random lines, then, you know, I feel for you. But these aren't random lines. If you go back and look, every single one gets respected. No, I'm calm. I'm very calm. Not all. Maybe some just, I don't know. Maybe they think, oh, that's not possible. You can't predict tops and bottoms and find out where price is going to find support. I'm just showing you that you can. There will always be trolls. So double bottom at 42K? I don't think so. I will tell you this, and I can show you on a chart the lowest point we can go with Bitcoin. I can load up peak of the bull run chart and show you this on that chart. If things got really bad with the stock market, the lowest point I ever see Bitcoin going, alright, let's see, peak of the bull run 2.0. Well, I think with the US dollar is dropping, but again, what happened last time when we had a COVID crash, the dollar actually came down with everything else, but then the dollar's the first to recover. And the reason the dollar recovered is because everybody jumped out. They panicked. They jumped out of the US markets. They jumped out of gold, they jumped out of Bitcoin, they jumped into the US dollar. So if everything starts coming down, the first thing people are going to jump into, they're going to hedge against it with the US dollar. And keep in mind, Bitcoin's a hedge against the US dollar. Oh, I'm not showing it on this stream, but it's still there, guys. The US dollars, you know, I got multiple charts with that. But I just wanted to show you that if things get really bad, where the bottom is potentially for Bitcoin. And I have multiple charts that actually match that. I have targets on the E1 chart, but I can't show you those targets. Let me show you this though. I gotta get some stuff off this chart. So this is the peak of the bull run chart. This chart's been pretty damn accurate. Notice when we came down, this is on the daily. This ring right here, this is a fib circle right here. We came down, this was perfect support. Look at this. Let me get rid of these bars. Look what happened when we came down. We found support right on this ring and right here on this trend line. And we pushed up a total of almost 13%. We came down and we hit it again. Look at that. And if you remember this on Twitter, guys, right? It was what? It was yesterday, day before. I said, guys, next daily candle open. I said the next daily candle open. And I was talking about this white ring. The next candle open right here. It was the next candle open. We pushed up, straight up from that point. We pushed up a total of almost 7%. And then look what happened. Now that ring, guys, that ring is now resistance. We found support. Doji became resistance. And look, we found support right on this fib channel line, which if you go back and look at the peak of the bull run chart, you understand why that's strong support right here. But if you want to know the lowest point that Bitcoin can go if things get really bad, the most bearish case, all you have to do is load up 300-week moving average. All you do is adjust this. Let's see. So weekly, 300. If things get bad, guys, let me just clear this whole damn chart. So right here, this is the lowest. Actually, you know, the interesting thing is we did bottom here. Let me add the 200 weekly too. All right, so let's make this 200 week, and let's make this brighter so we can see it. Okay, so back here. All right, back here in 2015, this was support, right? This is the 200 week. Notice right here, this was on 11th of December 2018. It was support, right? Support. So you can see back here, this is March 1st, 2020. This is where I called the bottom, not using a moving average, using a ring from peak of the bull run chart, nailed the bottom. Remember the video I made where I was calling for a potential crash? This is where we broke the 20 week right here. Came all the way down here. These are the two moving averages to watch. So your first potential point, you know, if this continues to do something like this, right? So, you know, watch, this is potentially 15,000. This right here is around 14,000 to 15,000. And we bottomed right here. So if this continues out, these are the two to watch. These are the lowest points we'll probably go if things get really bad. Yeah, I try to help people out as much as I can, but I can't hold everyone's hand, all right? You need to load the charts up, watch how they play out, listen to what I say in the live streams and videos and the tweets I make. You know, do some pretend trades. You know, watch how the charts play out. If it finds support and say, oh, well, if I would have bought there, what would have happened? It pushed up. Oh, that would have been a good trade. Oh, if I sold here, oh, that would have been a bad trade. It pushed above it. Just watch how they play out. Do some pretend trades. And then see if you're more successful than unsuccessful. And if you're more successful, you're going to be in profit. But again, pay attention to the 200 weekly and 300 weekly. If things get really bad, and guys, this is the 21 week right here. We are below this now. So again, if we come down and we push back up and this becomes resistance, we're probably headed down to one of these targets. If we drop below, you know, if we drop below and hold support, we're still in a bull run. But, you know, anybody can do this, guys. All you have to do is just load up a chart, type in moving average, set up a 200 weekly, set up a 300 weekly. You know, you definitely want to have the 21 week. You know, those are the three most important ones to watch. And we know that because if you go back, you can clearly see The 200 weekly was support again back here in 2015. It was support in 2018. It was support. We did drop all the way to 300 weekly, but it was support in March 13, 2020. So look, if we come down, that is a likely point right there. And if that breaks, your next lowest point would be the 300 weekly, which we bottomed on. But guys, I'm gonna have to kill the stream. I would like to let it keep going. I have some things I need to knock out. Again, I'm just gonna recap real quick. So if we drop, look, if we drop, your support is around 42,000. All right, watch that. That is a point to potentially long. Your current resistance on the C1 chart, 44,917. Your current resistance on the B1 chart, 44,323. If you have access to my charts, guys, make sure you have the E1 chart that has this red ring. And also the next support level below on the B1 chart does match up with this red ring. On the D1 chart, 41,633 is your support. Guys, 41,285 is your next support on the A1 chart. Ethereum, you'll find support at 31,000. I'm sorry, I always say that. 3,161. If that breaks 3,000, looks like a great point to long Ethereum. We are just now breaking $2.04 on ADA. If we continue down, your next major support is $1.74. And guys, well, thank you. Data rules me. So look, if you do want to sign up, guys, if you want to try it out for a month, again, you can cancel anytime. Go under subscriptions for PayPal. Remove the one for H Marketing Limited. But if you want to try it out, guys, $39 a month, get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, our Discord, and my Twitter. Here's the link. If you want to do lifetime, contact me through the contact page. Remember, if you're OG, you can get full access lifetime for $75. But if you do want to contact me, guys, here is the link. And if you are subscribed, you have to contact me to get the Discord invite link and to follow me on Twitter. So guys, trade safe. You can see, well, hold on. Let's leave this up for a minute since it's dropping. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if one of these support levels hold. Let's just watch these charts cycle through. Let's see if Ethereum holds right here since it's dropping. Yeah, guys, if you want to hit the like, appreciate it. But don't like something you don't really like. Alright, it's crazy. I'm about to kill it, and then we start getting a move. I'll let it run for a minute. Let's see what happens here. Thank you, Camcord. Hey, all you guys, I appreciate your support. So we'll just watch and see what happens here. That would be friggin' awesome if we come down and hit that red ring right now, wouldn't it? Amen, brother. Amen. $1 out of 15 cents. Trade, don't hodl. Demas, did you hodl down from the top? Did you not sell at 6,500? Is that why you're a little upset today? Again, I can't really give you a time frame. I just know that that red ring is going to be support for a nice bounce. It could be today. I mean, if we just come straight down, as that person that ate paint chips said, well, eventually you're going to hit the line. You're going to hit a ring. Yeah, that's true. But when we hit that line, or that, when we hit that ring, it's going to get a bounce. Oh, well, then you're good. Thank you, Ashtangadan. Ashtangadan? And I did add the Bollinger Bands. They do kind of come in handy too. And always remember to use RSI, guys. Look at the RSI and look at the MACD. But I'm curious, watch the E1 chart right here. Let's see if we hold support on this ring. I know it's hard to see, but there is a ring here. And I have these cycling through these Bitcoin charts. Let's see if we hold support. And if the B1, if it continues down to next support, we'll be hitting this red ring. And I'll be buying right here live with all of you. That'd be crazy if we hit that right now. Because once we break, guys, look, once we break this, notice this orange line right here. This has been support, right? Once we break this support, I made a tweet. I said, guys, this is where you want to buy. This is where you catch a bounce. We caught a perfect bounce. Once we break that, guys, once we break this and this becomes resistance, bam, we're coming to the red ring. Steve, do you think ADA will come down to $1? I think that's where it's headed. Again, if you're below support, that support becomes resistance. According to that chart, yes, your next support level is $1.74. If it's further out, it's $1.75. But yes, that is your next support level. I don't know. If we drop straight down, we could hit it in the next 10 minutes. If we move sideways, you know, that price does get higher. It is a ring. The longer it takes to hit it, the higher the price will be. I can't tell you how soon we'll hit it. That's not how this works. I'm not telling you it's going to hit it at the exact time or exact price. I'm telling you when it hits it, the price it hits it, that is when you buy. That is when I'll buy. If you have the chart on your phone, you know, you have it, you know, bookmarked, you just load the chart up. Are we near the ring yet? No? Well, don't worry about it. We're getting close. Okay, we're getting close to the ring. Now it's time to pay attention and get ready to buy. That's how it works. And let's see if we catch a bounce on this ring. We did it once. I think we can do it again. Come on, Ethereum. Show me what's up. Well, don't share any price targets. $1 out of 15 cent. But while you might have a price, you know, a buy order there, you know, if it takes longer to hit it, that price is going to be higher. But I'm sure you know what you're doing. But just remember, if we hit it sooner, that's lower. If we hit it later, that price is higher. Just like that orange ring that called the top. If we'd hit it sooner, it'd be lower. You know, when we finally made contact, it was 65,000. Because it's overvalued, because people just were too overly bullish and hyping everything up, and it's time for a correction. That's why. Look, I like to figure things out. I like to understand how things work. If I can't figure something out, I try to find a way to figure it out. Again, I was doing 3D animations and had graphics cards. And I used those graphics cards to mine crypto when they weren't rendering. And because of that, I started getting more into crypto, learning about coins, which coins were more, you know, if I mine them, which were more profitable. That got me into TradingView, got me into charting. And then I wanted to find out how I could find tops and bottoms. And then, you know, I started playing around with Fib circles and figured out that I could actually use them to predict when moves would happen, a pump or a dump. And then I refined my method. So, you know, one thing led to another. And I just happened to come up with this method of charting that works. So I guess maybe I just got lucky, or maybe I just was, you know, I really just wanted to figure it out. And again, got lucky. But it's crazy. I don't see many people using Fib circles. They're the most amazing tools. But you have to use them a certain way. If you use, most people use Fib circles, swing high, swing low. And they can be used that way, but I found an entirely new way to use Fib circles that nobody else, I guess, has ever used them that way. And if you watch the tutorials, I found another way you can use Fib circles that's even more amazing than just using fib channels, but you have to watch the tutorials for that. Basically, it's creating fib circles from fib circles. Totally just amazing how well it matches everything. If you guys watch the third tutorial, near the end, I show that. Yeah, I started trading when we were in a bear market, coming down from 20,000. And I wanted to know, if it drops, why does it drop here? How can I find that point where to push back up? Or how can I know when those moves will happen? And that's why I started playing around with the tools in TradingView. Came up with this. That is possible, yes, if the stimulus package is passed. And I gave you a time frame, guys. But between now and the next 27 days, we could have a correction. If they release a stimulus package within the next 27 days, just like the last video on March 11th, I thought we could potentially have a crash. If they release a stimulus package in the next 27 days, it is very possible the markets will push up, Bitcoin will follow suit. If they do not release one, which I do not think they will, because I think they're 2 months out before approval, I think I need to send the Fed my charts so they know what's up, but I want to short it, so I probably won't. But again, 27 days is the apex. If nothing happens before then, I think we're coming down. I think the house of cards is finally going to collapse. And again, markets down, Bitcoin down. Hey, if you lost money, consider it lesson learned, all right? Life lesson. Learn from your mistakes. But don't expect handouts. Come on. But guys, I told you that 65,000 was the top for coming down, and I'm telling you, I was right about, we pushed up, said it'd be coming back down. I said we'd break the 21 week, and I'm telling you, the last thing I'm telling you is that red ring will be support. And that's where I'm buying. And then we test the 21 week, and then we find out if we're in a bear market or if we're still in a bull run. As long as you're below that 21 week is resistance, we're in a bear market. We push above, we're in a bull market. But I'm ready to catch that 30% bounce, guys. So since it's coming down, we'll see what happens. I'll let this run for a little bit longer. And you can see currently ADA is holding support right here. We just got another candle open on the 1 hour. Let's see if this drops. 65,000 possible top. If we do push up, your top, just like right here, you can see that when we pushed up, we got rejected right here at 65,000. So if we push up, this ring will be respected again. So if we push up, potentially, if we got super bullish, if we pushed above the 21 week, your top's up here around 70,000, and then this blue ring will be another top. But yeah, that would be the top. Again, you respect these rings. The ring will be resistance. Once you push above, it'll become support. Steve, if you only have a small or BTC and it makes profit, how much do you take off the table without losing your position? I usually go in. I don't know what you mean by that. I buy one. I play with 1 Bitcoin. I go in 100%. If I'm at support, I think it's gonna hold. I buy 1 Bitcoin. When I make more than 1 Bitcoin, I take that money out and put it in USD or take it out. But I only trade with 1 Bitcoin. I'm not getting greedy and trading with more than a certain amount, because bad things can happen. Don't be greedy. If you're steadily making money, that's all that matters. Steve, what website do you use for the DJI ticker? I use this. I mean, I have my chart, but if you want to see that's what I'm using right there. again, we'll see. If we push back up above the 21 week and hold support, bull run's not over. If it becomes resistance, we're back in a bear market. And notice the Bollinger Band. This is on the 3 hour. Notice we found support on this Bollinger Band. And keep in mind, guys, this is important also. A lot of people have buy orders set at even numbers. People have, if you watch when we hit 45,000, price started pushing back up. Notice we found support at 43,000. The reason we found support there, people have buy orders there that trigger, that pushes price up. And then price will come right back down below that point. Right now we're in limbo according to my charts. We're in no man's land right here. So it's very possible we're going to come back down and break this. But if you do push up, you know where your resistance is. On this chart is 44,143. On this chart is 44,937. On this one, 47,114. Let's see, 44,323 and 44,937. I know they're different support and resistance levels, but they will be respected. How do I find your top right chart? So if you're subscribed to my charts, just click under Access Charts. If you click on List of Charts, that needs to be updated. That just shows what charts are available. I have more charts I need to add to that list. You need to click on Access Charts to access the charts. Click on Bitcoin, then all the chart links will be there. For the top right chart, the E1 is under BTC related. It has an E1 before the name of the chart. I don't use leverage. I just buy at support, sell at resistance. I use one Bitcoin to buy and sell. That's it. No leverage. And you can see ADA is holding support at $2.04. So, if you want a chance to long from that point, it would be a safer long than just longing from a random point. But keep in mind, if $2.04 becomes resistance, I'd probably short it down to $1.74. All right, guys. It looks like we held temporary support. Remember, there's going to be bounces on the way down. And remember, buy orders get triggered around even numbers. You can play that. If we drop down to 42,000, you can buy there just temporarily because buy orders trigger to push up a bit. But I think it's short-lived, guys. Again, you ask me, I think we're headed to that red ring. From that point, I think we will push up, test the 21-week moving average, and then we'll see if we're in a bull run or a bear market from that point. But guys, I'm going to kill this stream. I got stuff to do. Trade safe, trade smart until the next video or next live stream, and I will see you in Discord and on Twitter.